everybody! Hey guys, it's me, it's Andy Decade, Andy here. We've got Big D here. We're in pre-show. Hey Big D, how's it going?
I'm good, buddy. How you doing?
Not too bad, same as usual. We've
Excellent.
got a studio, I was going to say studio series. We've got New York Comic Con to talk about. We do have studio series to talk about as well, to a lesser extent, I suppose. But before we get on to that, what have you been up to? We were talking about Warhammer and Warhammer TV subscription technically before.
Yeah. Speaking of, I had 2 years worth of Warhammer Plus subscription minis arrive on Friday, actually, because I was doing it monthly, and so you get it at the end of your year, and then for this year I switched to the yearly, so I paid in advance. So I got both together.
Well, so that's all right.
Yeah, so I got the Vampire Lass, one of Von Carstein's, who I was genuinely surprised by how quickly she went together.
Yeah,
she's
not many pieces. It looks pretty good though when it's all built.
It does, and I do like how I was worried about the hand holding the cup, holding the goblet, but it's actually got a little peg on the end of the on the bottom of the goblet that goes into her side.
Yeah,
and it's quite nice and hidden, so I liked that. And I got the Inquisitor dude with his henchman.
Oh yeah.
And the skull and the weird dude with the microphones were quite quick, but Inquisitor himself has got some really fun little bits of design going on. So like his cape, the way they've sculpted it, actually part of it hooks under his arms.
Oh, okay.
Which is not something you tend to see a lot on GW minis in any setting.
No, that's true.
But for where it goes to get, I do think the instructions for him are a bit flawed because there's a couple of pieces that you should do in a different order,
right?
To how they recommend it. But overall, I think he looks fantastic. I've just been messing around this evening with some. I bought a few spares of the Recusant sprue from the Saving Tide box, the one with the Night Questor and the guys with the minions.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I've tried turning a couple of them into Inquisitorial henchmen. So I gave one. I chopped off his braziers and gave him a Deathwatch power sword that he's holding downwards.
Cool. Yeah.
It's quite nice. And the other one, I tried using some spares from the Inquisitorial Agent's henchman kit because you have so many spares from that once you're done with it. I'm not sure it's worked quite as well because I think I need to put some filler in around his hands or maybe do a bit of readjusting. But I'll try to give him the staff from that set with the big logo on the top.
Okay.
But I've got like 4 more of those sprues in a bag. I bought them when Saving Tide came out for dirt cheap. So I'm just going to mess around with hooded henchmen to get different looks. Which should be fun. Yeah.
We've got Orange in chat. He says, "Hi, hey Andy and Big D." Hello, Orange. He says, "What a reveal! Am I right?" Yeah, we'll get there. All those brand new molds. Yeah,
baby.
Well, speaking of that thing, let's play the music and get into the show, shall we?
Why not?
Yeah, music time.
Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name is Andy, Decade Andy, and I'm here with the man who's been remolded many times over. It's Big D. Hello, Big D.
Hey, man, I'm feeling about mold wear today.
Have you got any seam lines on you?
Far too many.
Oh, no. Are you like a second edition Warhammer mini, where it's just all seam lines? Actually, what were worse? Was the second edition minis worse, or were the resin kits worse? I imagine the resin kits were worse with seam lines. Right?
I'll tell you what was the worst. It was about 2008, 2009, and they went through a phase where they had some really bad mold slippage and degradation on plastics and metals.
Ooh.
I mean, I've had some metals from that period which were so bad. I mean, especially in the Lord of the Rings range, where they're much finer detail.
Oh, and they were smaller too, weren't they?
Yeah, and they're so badly off kilter. It's just like, I can't fix this. What the hell?
Oh, no.
And they were old minis as well, so I couldn't do much about them. So,
no. Damn. Well, that's...
But Although I think probably the worst mold lines I've had to deal with are probably some old War Machine.
War Machine, the board game War Machine.
War Machine and Hordes, yeah, because they
Ah.
especially some of their metals tended to be very chunky with lots of shoulder pad. I mean, they clearly had Space Marine envy.
No,
but,
no.
But they could have some. Now, to be fair, the molds were such nice. It was so big and chunky, it wasn't as bad a thing. But there was so much material you had to get rid of sometimes that it was. Thankfully, lots of flat surfaces, so that helped.
Not as bad, but not good either.
Just a matter of time because they were all big, heavy metal miniatures.
Right.
Yeah.
I see Simon Tang in the chat as well. Hello, Simon Tang. Welcome. Hope you're doing well tonight.
Hey, dude.
We're going to jump onto our first story because we've got some okay-ish news with Transformers and then some more interesting stuff with what New York Comic Con revealed. So before New York Comic Con, we had a really cool, really amazing new video game leaked, I suppose, for Transformers, which I'm sure everybody's gonna poo their pants over. It's the Transformers Multi-Shock video game. Now, despite it being a very mediocre title, we do get a clip of it. And Big D, have you heard of a game called Vampire Survivors?
Yes, I have.
No, that's a shame.
I own it, but I've yet to play it.
Oh.
I've seen so many people playing it and it looks like it's been a right laugh.
I would suggest you forget that game exists if you want to play this. Because this is another Vampire Survivor clone. It's another Bullet Heaven game. Where you can...
that brand new subgenre, the Vampire Survivors knockoff.
Yeah, pretty much. To be fair, there are some good bullet hell games out there, but since the success of Vampire Survivor and how fucking cheap it was, a lot of other places have been doing it as well. And I guess Transformers, as usual, being late to the game, decided it's their turn now as well. I'm actually surprised Warhammer hasn't done one yet, to be honest.
Actually, yes. Although I suspect that they've kind of been beaten to it by the guys behind Deep Rock Galactic because they've done their own version.
Oh, they've done a Bullet Heaven game, have they?
Yeah. Initially, I thought it was a mod, an in-game mod for Deep Rock, but no, it's a whole separate game.
Oh, okay. Well,
you still mine and stuff, but it's all from that top-down bullet hell mode. It does look quite bonkers, to be fair.
The problem is, it's just like Vampire Survivors, like what, £1?
I think it's like £3.
£3, yeah, at full price.
I mean, I paid a $5 for it with all the DLC content that was out.
Yeah, it's a fantastic price for. It's not like a great game, but it's just like it's fun, It's kind of you play for a little bit and you're done, and it's like
20-minute rounds,
something like that. Unless you die.
All of these have a time limit to work to, which is nice.
Yeah. It's a good like you're on the bus game.
Yeah.
Hopefully, don't play while driving though. Don't do that.
Well, that could be exciting for
it could be
everyone for brief periods.
It's exciting for everybody else as well, I suppose. So this version, we've got. So there are apparently several characters you can choose from, like Optimus Prime, Megatron, Starscream, Blur, Hound, or Optimus Primal, to fight a Quintesson army. It seems like you can pick up people and have multiple people in a singular team at one time. I was going to say very cool, but not so much. We are still in what I'd call the dregs of Transformer video games. We don't have a new good one. I don't think we're going to get one. I don't know. It's sad to say, I don't think Transformers is going to get that big game. Like, oddly enough, like Space Marine 2,
Yeah.
I don't think Transformers is going to get the next Space Marine 2.
It's sad because there's lots of devs who have espoused their love of the franchise, but the problem is it's the franchise and no studio really wants to pay the big money because they got to make it back again to pay the license.
Yeah, and paying for like a Marvel thing is a lot different because it's a bigger, people care a lot more about Marvel superheroes than they do Transformers for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
I have a feeling as well that there are a lot of people that just see the Transformer franchise as like baby kind of franchise, and why bother doing anything interesting with it?
Yeah, and as painful as it is to say, there's only really been less than. I'd probably struggle to tell you 5 of the games they've had over the years have been any good, to be honest. I mean, you got the Fallen War games, Devastation, the PS2 game, which is probably more nostalgia than anything else.
Yeah, no, to be fair, when that came out at the time, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. It was the first genuinely good Transformers game.
Yeah, it's very clunky, but it's
but
okay.
At the time, it was very innovative because people forget it was part of that kind of second generation of PS2 games where the tech had been kind of locked in. Just like MGS3 had its jungle effects. Transformers did that as well with some, especially the Amazon rainforest levels with some wonderful lighting effects, and that stuff was really innovative at the time. And it was an outlier. It was almost a decade till we had War for Cybertron, then Fall and Devastation, and in between there you had all the crappy movie games.
I remember being so excited for the very first Transformers movie game.
I know.
I was so excited. I was like,
I bought that, and
Same.
I think I took it back the same day.
Oh, I completed it. I got 100. I got full 100% achievements of it. But I was like, best we got.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a shame because the big problem is that it is a franchise where you do need to lean into the gimmick is transformation. You basically have to design 2 games in essence, or 2 mechanics. And it's not an easy thing to do. It takes a developer who needs to put the time in. And time is money. You need the graphics to match it. It's a vicious circle. And I don't disagree with you. I think if we could get like remasters of Devastation and War and Fall, that'd be great.
Something. Yeah, especially since they're not available to buy now. So, obviously. Yeah. Orange says, RIP Reactive. Is Reactive definitely dead? Or is it like... Because I keep hearing people say Reactive's still a thing, but I don't know. I obviously don't care.
I've not heard anything about it. I haven't heard anything about it in months.
No, me neither, but I guess that doesn't mean anything. Like I take Reactive like I take the live-action He-Man movie that's coming out. I'll fucking believe it. I'll believe it when there's an actual trailer that exists. Not production photos, like a proper trailer. And it's the same for Reactive. When there's a legitimate gameplay trailer that's out for it, then I'll believe it's a thing.
Honestly, when it comes to video games, I'm at a stage now where I won't really believe it until I see the game released and available to buy.
Is that because games like Duke Nukem Forever?
Partly
which is like the classic.
Yeah. It's just a number of games you see, especially recently, where they've been announced trailers and then nothing.
That I think for me, that was Duke Nukem Forever, and it took 10 years to come out, and it was terrible. Ironically, Concord did the same thing, except they didn't put out a trailer 10 years beforehand. They just worked on it for 10 years, and it came out, and it was shit.
Although apparently Concord's still been worked on behind the scenes.
Yeah, that's a terrible idea. I think they're just trying to figure out some way to milk some money to get some reimbursement back on it.
Well, I was reading an article this morning that pointed out that everyone's been wringing their hands about how badly Joker 2's done, and how poorly Transformers 1 and Wild Robot have done in spite of how good they are.
Mm-hmm.
Concord's actually the biggest multimedia failure of all time.
Yeah.
It barely made $1 million off of like a $400 million budget.
Yep.
Which is, pardon my French, fucking insane.
It's not that surprising. Like I saw the first trailer for Concord and I was like, it's gonna fail. It's gonna fail.
Oh no, it's not the fact it failed. It's a fact that it's a failure of such a magnitude, and no one's heard about it. That it's been that big a failure.
Yeah, only people who look into it. To be fair.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was a mention that the previous biggest failure before this was John Carter, which I didn't realize.
Oh yeah, that did really badly as well.
It did, and see that one I maintain is purely down to the dumb nuts who marketed it because
they didn't market it. I'd never heard of it, and then it came out, and I was like, "What?"
Exactly.
Granted, it's not a film I would have gone to see because it's not a great film, but
it's entertaining, and the thing is, the trailers were all derivative. Not one of them made a point of the fact that it was basically the first real space opera book that they were adapting, that it's the book series that inspired Star Wars, Flash Gordon, all kind of like the big epic space adventures of the 20th century can kind of draw a through line back to John Carter in at least some way. And a lot of the scenes that people were crying out and saying, "Oh, this is just like a knock-off Star Wars." Like, no, this is what inspired that. You get that, right? I was banging my head when I saw those trailers because it was just like, ugh. Sorry, you can probably guess I've got a soft spot for John Carter. I agree with you. It's not a great movie, but it's an entertaining one. It's one of my comfort movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Orange says, if it comes out, I really hope it won't be Duke Nukem Forever. Everyone should hope it's not Duke Nukem Forever.
Yes. No one wants Duke Nukem Forever. No. Not even Gearbox wanted Duke Nukem Forever. No. But, well, they deserved Duke Nukem Forever.
Oh, yeah, Gearbox is a right fuck up. Was a right fuck up of a company. Simon
No, they are. You were right the first time.
Is it still going? Is Gearbox still going?
Gearbox, yeah.
I thought they died at this point or being absorbed by somebody else.
They got bought by that company that bought everyone, then had to sell stuff because they fucked up. No.
Microsoft?
No, it was that big group that were making all those acquisitions. They bought like the Lord of the Rings rights and Asmodee and Gearbox and some other. Basically, they went on a big shopping spree, and then about, I think just after COVID, their CEO had to make a groveling.
Oh, Simon
statement.
says Embracer. Is that right?
That was it. Yeah, because they had to make a groveling statement because they were expecting to have a $2 billion deal go through, and at the last minute it got pulled.
Oh.
Everyone thinks it was for Saudis, but that meant that they were on hock for all of these acquisitions they'd made. So so a lot of them they just kind of like Gearbox. They let them buy themselves out, so they're independent again, for better or worse. They split themselves, Asmodee and another company into three, but they put all the debt onto Asmodee.
Oh, damn.
So I think probably because Asmodee was the only bit that actually made money for all their board games. So I'm kind of hoping they can get all that sorted because Asmodee don't deserve to tank because they actually do good work. But yeah, if the Embracer Farrago is interesting, to say the least.
Simon also says Concord is bad timing. They were 5 years too late to the market. Yeah, that's true. I will say the design aesthetic was appalling. When you fuck up making a robot look cool, I think that gives you an example of how bad the rest of your character art style is as well.
Didn't it just rip off Guardians of the Galaxy massively?
In terms of how the characters acted towards each other, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But that robot was basically a barrel. Imagine a barrel mixed with the who's the tire mascot?
Oh, the Michelin Man.
Michelin Man, yeah, a barrel with the Michelin Man. That was their robot design. Jesus. It looked shit, and the rest of the character designs were pretty abysmal as well.
See,
so
until
it's an ugly game.
Until it launched, and I started seeing reports about how it was doing so badly, I hadn't heard anything about it.
Yeah, I saw one trailer for it from a game reveal show, and it was a big portion of the game reveal show, and I was like, this looks shit. Granted, most of the time game reveal shows have nothing that I want to play.
Yeah.
They just do not cater to me. I don't know who they cater to, but it's never to me. Yeah,
and the fact it was yet another hero shooter, it's like, really?
Yeah, I mean, like Simon said, we're at least, I mean, I think 5 years is being generous, to be fair, but we were far past that. Far past the point where hero shooters were the be end all.
Unless you're Valve, because somehow they've managed to make a hero shooter that people are quite enjoying.
Well, for somehow Valve is still, even when they don't make a lot of games, Valve actually puts in the effort to make a thing good. I don't want to play it because it's a hero shooter, and I don't really care. But at least I know when Valve's making something, it's going to be of decent quality.
Absolutely.
I just wish they'd make more stuff. They don't have to because Steam exists, and they just like money falls into their laps. But
yeah, it's like we have Steam. Oh,
yeah. Like there's still people that are like, "Oh, Half-Life's gonna finish," and it's like, it's
no. As much as I wish Half-Life Episode 3 would come out at some point, it's never coming out.
See, I played Half-Life on the orange box, if you remember the little game
Yeah,
collection that the 360 did.
that's how I got Half-Life 2 in the orange box.
Yeah, and it didn't do much for me, I'll be honest. I like Portal, but yeah, Half-Life, I played it when I can see why people liked it. I have to admit, didn't care.
I probably need to replay it because when I played Half-Life 2 Episode 1 and Episode 2, my machine, it was on my previous machine, and it was, and
I was right.
I didn't realize there was an upgrade I should have made to that machine. It needed a bit more RAM to it.
Oh.
So there were scenes where I was going, this is a bit slow, isn't it? It's like, no, that's just my machine had stopped. So it was, especially in cutscenes, it was loading everything in so slowly. It's just like, oh, bugger.
You're watching smoke come out your PC and it's like, this seems weird. Maybe it's the game's fault.
What's that smell?
Why is my computer crying and wanting to kill itself? I don't know.
But yeah, I should probably replay them at some point. Actually, as they're supposed to be played. But
well, that's Transformers Multi-Shock. It's a video game that's going to be coming out at some point in the future. No release date for it yet, but I would recommend just get Vampire Survivor. I almost guarantee it'll be cheaper.
Yeah, I mean, if this is under a $5, then
it won't be.
I know, but
I'm sure the licensing will boost it.
It'll be on sale inevitably.
Just get Vampire Survivor.
Yeah.
There's way more characters to Vampire Survivor, even without the DLC.
Or what's that V Shoujo one that's got all the idol girls in it?
Oh yeah, Holocure. Yeah, that's really good, and it's free.
Which has like 6 bajillion characters, which is just bonkers.
Yeah,
hilarious, but bonkers.
You make a good point. Holocure is a really fun game, and it's free, and you can just get it on Steam. It's great. Yeah, that's a better option, actually. So,
have I got a Holocure?
What's that?
So I was just checking to see if I had Holocure or not.
You should get it. It's pretty fun. I like most of the Hololive girls anyway. It's it's fun.
Yeah.
So New York Comic Con happened. Where the first thing we're going to be talking about, I suppose, is going to be the Transformers crossover collaborative, The Mandalorian N-1 Starfighter. Which obviously, for those unaware, if you're lucky to not have seen the Mandalorian show, is the Naboo starfighter without all of its paneling. So it's grey instead of yellow. I think if we compare this to their previous Transformers Star Wars crossover, this is an improvement. It helps with the fact that it has a Mandalorian helmet versus the weird roboticized, like, Anakin Skywalker head that they had back in the day.
Yes. Some of those heads were
horrible,
distressing, to say the least.
Distressing is a good word for it. The things the Cenobites would show you when they say, we're going to show you such wonderful sights. It's like, well, this isn't wonderful. This is awful.
Hey, Holocure is just downloading. Time it took us to do that introduction. Excellent.
Yeah, it's not a big game. It's pretty quick. We don't know how this is going to scale with those figures. If you're a big, for some reason, Transformers Star Wars collector from back in the day, I don't know how this will scale, to be honest. But I think for the most part, this looks okay for what it is.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I think there's some fun stuff going on with this. I mean, like all these crossover type figures, it's a bit janky in places because of the nature, and I give them points for making an effort to make the Naboo starfighter transform, because that's a very thin ship to do anything with.
It's thin and very smooth, even without the panels on it. And it does kind of lose the smoothness on the underside where you can see the legs clearly up. It's like, I think it's a good job at it.
Yeah. And I mean, the one in the show is supposed to be all silver, because they stripped off all the yellow parts and it's all silver underneath. It's more like a dedicated hot rod. But I actually like the grey because it seems like it's that same rich grey they've used for Vector Prime, because he's got a very which works for that figure. So
it would look nice if it was silver, but it's not as bad as it could be with the grey plastic. It could be a little bit nicer.
Absolutely,
you'll do a better job if you get some paint to it yourself and touch it up. But
and it does have a lot of paint on it anyway. There's a lot of gold going on, a lot of metallic brown. A lot of red.
Just metallic as well, because they've tried to do gunmetal on very specific interior parts as well.
And I like how
effects as well. It seems like some blast effects, which you can either use for the engine thrust things, and then you can put some blasts on the front. He's also got a stand. That's quite nice. I know it's kind of it's not a crazy thing to like praise them for, but having a stand that can also be used as a shield, that's kind of cool.
And his cloak as well. Well, the actual post folds out from his cloak, which is kind of they've made the effort, you know. It's fun that they've tried.
I'll be honest, I couldn't tell that was a cloak until you mentioned it was meant to be a cloak. To be honest, but now that I see it, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's not a good cloak. If you want a cloak, probably best to buy your own and have it as a separate piece. Like you said, they've tried to do something with it. I think it works better as the little energy shield. I don't think it works well as the cloak, but now that I see it, at least it's something. You know, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
This seems to be an okay crossover figure, I suppose. Not one that I would care much for. I'm assuming because you like to show Big D, would this be something that tickles you? Because you're not much of a... I don't think you buy crossover stuff, do you, generally?
Not as a rule. I mean, I have a few of the original crossover stuff from the mid-2000s.
Oh, no.
I've
the Star Wars ones?
I did have the Millennium Falcon, but that crumbled the day after I bought it from a car boot sale.
I'm surprised it lasted the car boot sale, to be fair.
Yeah. I bought a Death Star at the same boot sale, the Vader one, which I sold to someone in Italy who got very angry about it when I told him how much it would cost to ship it. And I was like, well...
It's going to Italy, bro.
Yeah. But that was fun. I don't think I have... The other one I've got the Marvel Captain America 4x4 for some reason. I don't know where I got that from, but...
yeah, that line was... I think that line was a little better than the Star Wars line, but not by much.
It was a very weird line. There was it had some real crackers in it, but also some utter duds.
When I remember that in my brain, it makes me think of like, what if McDonald's toys had a budget?
Well, yeah, the thing is, though, the Cap one, I forget how big and chunky it is because it's huge.
Yeah, they're big figures.
For what was basically a deluxe size, even back in the day, it's got a real heft to it. So I'm not surprised a lot of folks bought them to use for kit bash fodder. So I know a lot of folks did like Impact and other members of the Wreckers out of various parts of that line. So.
Oh, hang on a sec. I think I see a spider, which I'm going to trap under a jug. So I'll just be a moment.
Okay.
But you little fuck.
But no, I am torn on this one. It's a bit pricey, dear listeners, but there we go. 55 quid's a bit rich for my money. But if it drops in price, I could be tempted.
Okay, that was a big spider.
I do. Yeah, I've had a few big spiders around my room recently, and I kind of just let them wander past because, they're eating all the other bugs. So
no, I throw them out my house to tell them to get out. They're not paying rent. Also, I get really annoyed having to clean up cobwebs all the time.
Fair.
He's fine under the glass. I'll throw him outside later. I might have squished him a little bit, but we'll see. Not my problem.
Fair shout.
So,
Mando, it looks fine. I probably won't buy it at full RRP because it's a bit pricey for what I think's only going to be like a Voyager or a Deluxe Express.
Yeah, the price is $54.99 US.
Yeah, and it's like 50 or 55 on Hasbro Pulse for the moment. So it's not cheap.
No,
which is to be expected. We expect it from crossovers, but I think this might be one of the better looking crossover figures we've seen. To be honest. I like it more. I like it more than a lot of the Western the collaborations we've had over here in the last few years.
And it's a unique mold. It doesn't look like it's a remold, or if it is a remold, it looks like it's heavily remolded. It's not like say the DeLorean, which is very much just sideswipe again.
Absolutely, I can't see. Honestly, I can't see how you could retool that into anything.
It might be based off something just super heavily tooled. Who knows? You know?
Yeah.
So we had that, and then there was the Hasbro Breakfast event. We're just doing the Hasbro Breakfast event because it rounds up pretty much everything that they showed off, which wasn't a lot. Granted, they showed off the Dark of the Moon Hatchet, the 86 Galvatron from Studio Series. This is all Studio Series. Revenge of the Fallen Double Punch, which I think is a repaint.
I think it is. Yeah.
I think. And then War for Cybertron, no. War for Cybertron Skywarp, which is obviously a repaint of the Starscream as well. There's also the retro card Bumblebee and Gears, which we talked about last week, so we don't need to go over that. It's just they were in person. And then there's the Mando collab, which obviously we just talked about as well.
Yeah.
So, Hatchet is one of the 3 dreadlock dudes from Dark of the Moon, the one that turns into the kind of 4-legged car Jeep thing. I don't know if this is a reuse of this mold or anything like that, because obviously I don't care about this line at all. But he's got a lot of car on his back. A lot of car on his back. What do you think of him, Big D? Do you like the dread car boy?
I mean, it's a decent interpretation of the character, who, let's be honest, is just a goon for a 5-minute action sequence.
Oh, it's generous to say it's even 5 minutes.
Yeah.
He dies very quickly.
Oh, yes. I mean, if you're looking to fill out that gap in your movie collection, he's there. It's probably the best version you're going to get of him.
Maybe, I guess, yeah. Well, currently, until like it was a Unique Toys, maybe does one in the future if they haven't already.
I mean, previously, wasn't he just like one of their Legends class? Was it the Command Cyberverse class figures they did?
They did have one, but I think there might have been a bigger one, but I'm not sure. Again, because I don't care about this line, it's and a lot of the 3 dreads just look the same.
Yes, they are very much bits of car hanging off weird dreadlock dudes.
Yeah, pretty much. So he's coming. Oh boy. Studio Series 86 Galvatron. So what is he? He is Kingdom Galvatron.
The 6th use of that tooling.
Yeah. So this time it's Galvatron with the exact same fucking accessories, but the cannon is opaque now. It's not translucent. Which should have been opaque. He still comes with a pretty crappy Matrix of Leadership. And now he is movie accurate purple. Unlike the other purples we were previously getting, this is the best purple now we have. Is there any other differences? Because I don't think there is.
No.
Unlike Springer, who got something, this is just Galvatron again.
The Matrix has been painted with a more robust orange, like the movie, as opposed to the gold of the other versions.
Is that true? I don't know.
To my knowledge, I can't be asked to dig my version out of the box, to be honest.
Now, the funny thing about this is, obviously, Kingdom Galvatron did not sell desperately well. It sold fine, but not desperately well. It did go on sale. And the Legacy one was, I think, at least in the UK, pretty much notorious for going on pretty heavy discounts. I got one for about £12. One of my, if you look up the cannon mode, you know the purple joints where his arms kind of flap around. One of those purple joints is the wrong way around, so I can't actually completely transform him into his cannon mode.
Nice,
desperately fun because you know the gray bit. There's a cut in that purple for the gray bit of his shoulder to slot into, because it's the wrong shoulder. There's the gaps on the other side.
Of course.
So the only way to fix it is to basically cut a slot of purple plastic out if I wanted to do it. Which I'm not that fussed about. So I'm just
it's not worth the hassle.
No. So this is going to be more than what he was because it's Studio Series, and Studio Series are generally a lot more than the standard stuff. So what's Leader Studio Series price again?
50 quid.
Oh fuck. Good luck, Hasbro. Good luck.
Yeah, I mean, I had the Kingdom version.
Yep. Oh, with the awful splodges.
Yeah, but then I picked up the Legacy for under 20 quid.
Yeah.
So I shunted the Kingdom one off to Gruff, and I think JoJo's been playing with it and loves it.
Oh, well, that's fine.
Which made me really happy, to be honest. That made my day when he told me that.
Yeah. Well, the kid doesn't give a shit if it's accurate or not. He's like,
no.
It's a toy. Why?
But I mean,
look at the G1 toys we played with. Look how accurate they were.
Absolutely. But I mean, that version is perfectly fine for all of my needs.
Yeah.
As a Galvatron. But I mean, think about it. We've had the comic accurate colors version.
Yes. Yep.
We've had the
translucent to changing one.
Now I present a Galvatron version for Unicron Remix.
Yep.
We've had Straxus for heavy retool.
Yep.
And now this.
Yeah.
I mean, they're making their most of this mold. Got to give them credit for that. But
I don't know how they fucking did it, especially when they sold you the exact same figure at least 3 times now. At least.
Well, like I say, this is going to be the 6th release of this mold in some form or other.
At least with the Marvel version, he was a completely different color. At least with the I'm transforming, he was translucent. Now, it's dangerous to get a completely translucent figure mostly, but again, it's different. This is just Galvatron, slightly different purple. It's like, oh, man.
Yes.
Oh, and the cannon's now not translucent. Okay.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't really care about the cannon being translucent or not.
I mean, to be fair,
I think it does look better.
Yeah,
it does look better here.
Yeah, no doubt.
But I'm not going to go out and buy this just because it's a slightly brighter shade of purple.
If you want your cannon to be orange, let me give you a tip. Go to Halford's and buy a can of orange spray.
Oh, I don't have to go to Halford's. I can just go down to my kitchen. I've got like 4 cans
I mean normal people,
Oh.
Big D, not people who paint miniatures.
Well, all right.
You paint miniatures. It's expected you have it.
All right, fair point.
Yeah, normal people who don't paint minis, just get a can spray. It'll be like £5, maybe 10 at the most.
It'd be a tenner if you buy a can of varnish to go with it, because you will need to varnish it.
That's true. But yeah, it's cheaper than £50 for a figure you might already own. I wonder how many people are like getting their legacy ones and going, I gotta sell this one. I gotta get the better version now.
Oh, I've already seen it on eBay.
God.
People have been putting their legacy Galvatrons up for sale, and it's just like, yeah, good luck with that, pal.
Yeah.
Especially as you can go on Bargain Max, they still have legacy Galvatron for £16.
Sounds about right.
and bear in mind, they also do quite regular discount codes as well. You can normally get it for an extra 15, 20 quid, 20% off.
I mean, good luck, Hasbro. Good luck.
So,
I mean, when we heard this was coming, I shouldn't have been surprised it was just going to be this Galvatron figure again. But I was kind of hoping, because it's been a bit since Kingdom, at least a few years. I was hoping, maybe they'd tweak it a little bit more. They'd maybe make a new design so he's a little bit.
I was surprised that it was literally just
this.
Yeah, I thought they might have done something a bit more to it than just possibly a bit of retooling, even if it wasn't a completely new mold. But this is, on the one hand, part of me thinks it's a good figure.
It's not bad. It's fine.
Yeah, it looks. It's got a nice heft to it. The spaceship guns I can leave. Likewise for Matrix on that daft chain.
Yeah, the Matrix is crap.
Just buy yourself some jewelry chain and make your own one, because it's it looks a lot better. But it poses nicely. It's got a nice head sculpt. It's got all the detailing. If you're a fan of the toy or the cartoon or the movie, whatever, all the comic iterations, it's all there for you.
Yep.
So, and it's kind of nice for if people have missed out, because let's be honest, there's a lot of people who don't have access to, or they're not as savvy as us, or are stupid, so they wouldn't go searching for cheaper versions of figures, or know about places like Bargain Max or all the various discount places you can get it from. So
it feels like that's the people that you're talking about would just be parents.
Yeah,
because
but equally, it's weird.
I'd like to believe the collectors wouldn't be stupid enough to be like, oh, this isn't the figure we've just had multiple times.
Yeah, but equally, it's the Studio Series 86 movie Galvatron.
A lot of people would just get it on that basis. Unfortunately,
it is, but also most of the people who would want that are surely older collectors who should be a bit more savvy.
Yeah, I guess, but we already just talked about the people selling their legacy versions to get this, clearly. I don't know. Exel Hedge says, Woo called
should
it.
Be an operative word there, I will admit.
Watch 86 Rodimus and Cyclonus be the Kingdom repaints. Yeah. To be fair, Cyclonus is all right. I mean, he just needs a better head sculpt and being not fucking lilac.
Same for Rodimus, to be fair. A better head sculpt would be nice.
Yeah, I think they could do. I think they need to do a lot to make Rodimus not poop.
I mean, if they sold Rodimus on his own without the trailer, without his big trailer, so he wasn't at that full Commander price point,
I don't know if they could do that. Because he's not really Rodimus Prime without the Hummer van.
That's true. I mean, the figure is like half again the size of the Hot Rod figure, so. And I get what you're saying. That the whole Winnebago back end is kind of his prime, but yeah, I don't know, man, because we've discussed it before. I didn't pay full whack for Rodimus Prime.
I skipped it. I didn't want it. I thought it looked poo.
Yeah, I paid way under retail for him.
Yeah, because that shelf warmed as well quite a long time.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I'm happy with my purchase at the end of the day. If I'd paid full Commander price for him, I probably would be less happy.
Yeah.
But I have a respect for the sheer amount of engineering that's in the figure. I do, from an intellectual perspective, understand why they put him in that price point, because there's a lot of engineering in there that they couldn't legitimately afford to do at a lower price point. But it's a big ask for people to buy a figure like that, which is it's like Studio Series Optimus Prime, basically. But that figure, you are really paying for the cab. The trailer is nice and looks good, but all the engineering is in that truck.
I think the difference between the two of them is that the Studio Series Commander Optimus Prime looks a lot better than that Rodimus. It's quite old at this point now as well, I suppose.
Yeah. Rodimus, I think the head sculpt is what was a big deal for a lot of people, because it's a very odd choice for a head sculpt. It's a very old-looking head, which shouldn't be how Rodimus Prime looks.
No.
So, but
Excel Hedge also says we had the UK comics accurate colors, not the US Marvel comic colors. Potato, whatever.
Yeah.
For the Galvatron, I'm sure. And Orange says, need integrated trailer Roddy. That would be interesting to see. I'm not sure they do it, but I wouldn't be against it, because technically the trailer was never shown in the show to do anything.
Yeah.
But I think to make it easy on themselves, to just go, yeah, but you want the toy gimmick, right? And it's like, no, the toy gimmick of him turning into battle platform was crap. You don't really worry about that, I would say, personally. Next up, we have the spider. What's the scorpion called? I guess that's Double Punch.
Double Punch?
Yeah, so it's the Scorponok figure.
Where is he from? Because I have no fucking
Rise
clue.
of the Beast. He's the Rise of the Beast scorpion dude.
Oh, is he?
Yes. I think they called it Scorponok, and now it's changed those red parts to purple. That's what that figure was. So it's just this with red. It's like, okay, well, there you go. And obviously, Skywarp is what if Starscream but purple. Do we have a photo of it? Oh, great.
Yeah, he's down the bottom.
And there they are. Yeah, so it's just but what if purple. But yeah, okay. Yeah, well, if you like that one, here we go.
Yeah.
Purple now. I think he's got a new weapon. He's got the missile launcher, whatever the missile launcher was called. It's like, okay.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Fun. Yeah.
Honestly, I think Skywarp might be the winner out of these four, which is not saying a great deal. At least he's got some new stuff.
I think Mando might be the winner out of these.
Well, yeah. I was thinking just in terms of Studio Series, but yeah, in terms of new reveals of Transformers, Mando is probably the best of the five.
Yes, they did show. Excuse me. They did show an image of Devastator, and we'll talk about this next.
Yeah.
And they went, well, we're not showing it now. Again, we're going to push it back to the Hasbro Premium event. And I was like, the fucking what? Yes, apparently Hasbro is doing a premium 1027 event. What's 1027 in relation to?
27th of the 10th.
Oh yeah, stupid Americans. Putting the bloody month first and then the pissing date is dumb. Whatever. This is what they wrote down for the little thing. Hasbro Premium members, everyone else can go fuck yourself. That's implied. The Hasbro Pulse Premium 1027 event is back. Was that a thing last year? You're invited to a special. Probably. You're invited to a special virtual event, so very interesting. Packed with exciting product reveals, content updates, and more from some of your favorite brands. That sounds gross. Join us on Sunday, the 27th of October at 12 ET time on the Hasbro Pulse channel for the exclusive show to celebrate you, our amazing... So hang on. Do you have to be a premium member to watch it on YouTube?
I think you do.
How? How do they have that implemented?
I think you get sent an invite to it. It's like
it's a private stream.
Yeah.
Okay, that would make sense. I'm sure that will get leaked out.
I mean,
sorry. I mean that totally won't get leaked out. That totally won't get leaked out.
How much is Pulse Premium? It's what, 50 quid a year?
I can't remember.
Something, which I still think is kind of nuts.
I don't think you get enough to justify it.
No.
It's you're allowed to buy products earlier. It's like,
and I think you get free shipping without having to hit that 50 quid minimum. But
like, woo. No, I just wait for your products to go on sale on other websites. Thank you. Either way, it continues. Already a Hasbro Pulse Premium member, you're all set. RSVP below to secure your spot and keep your eyes on your inbox. If you're not a Hasbro Pulse member yet, don't miss out on the exclusive event because it will just go up on the news sites anyway. It doesn't say that, but that's what happens all the time. So,
yeah,
Devastator will, because they're not going to not show the Devastator product. You just won't see it first. You'll see it like the next day or something. So I still
find it hilarious that they could have revealed it here.
They could have
and reveal, showed off all the members and the combined mode, just stills, and then for this event actually gone into detail.
I think Hasbro's really shitty these days. At least the Transformers team is with how they're doing their reveals. Because this does not feel like it needed to be an event. Like the 27th of the 10th, it doesn't feel like it needs to be its own separate thing. Just show it at New York Comic Con. Come on.
Well, we're only like a month away from when they had PulseCon, and now they're doing another event after the second biggest Comic Con in the world.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like silly.
Do you think you're going to get as many eyes on this as you would have there?
Well, the thing is, like, I understand they said they weren't ready to reveal it at Hasbro Pulse. Fair enough. Okay, fine. New York Comic Con. Just show it at New York Comic Con. You had enough time from then to now to show there. But it's like, no. We're going to hold off for this special fart sniffing event that we do all the time, which you didn't need to do.
I actually feel sorry for the actual design teams.
Oh, this is a marketing decision. This isn't anything to do with the design teams.
This feels like it's marketing, it's seafloor planning. People who just don't get it.
No.
Because we know that all the guys on the design teams, all the guys and gals, I should say, they're all clearly fans. They're doing it. Yes, it's a job for them, but also you do get a sense of that they are fans of the franchises, because we've reached that point now where it's the fans who are going into the industry who are kind of keeping it going. And they're doing their best, bless them, and stuff like this just kicks me in the nuts.
Yeah, marketing or business. Sometimes other portions of the business fuck with everything else with the business.
Yeah,
it seems.
And I would probably put money on the fact that between now and next Sunday, Devastator gets revealed anyway. Either gets leaked, or there's some website that posts, like IGN or somewhere, that posts up an exclusive reveal that they've gotten from Hasbro of Devastator.
Big D, that's retarded. When has that ever happened in the history of Hasbro reveals?
I know, it's such a malicious...
Name me one time.
It was such a malicious and true thing of me to say.
I know, how dare you? How dare you speak the truth, you awful man. Oh, Jesus Christ. Orange says, I love those retro-styled boys. Oh, the retro card guys. Yeah, they're fine.
They're fun.
I think it would have been nice for them to at least tease one more of that line, because we talked about last time, having two from that line is just weird. Having one more reveal here would have been nice. XL Head says, October the 27th, month, day, year, as it should be. Yeah, says the Satanists. Says the evil. The people that we booted out from the UK because you were weird religious people.
Yeah, remember, there's only one niche on the planet that dates things that way. It's for one that's between the Atlantic and Pacific.
You order things from smallest to biggest or biggest to smallest, not medium, small, big. Who does that? Can you imagine the Goldilocks and the Three Bears house? You have the big bed, the baby bed, and then the medium-sized bed. It's like, what are you doing? No. No, one does this. So TFCon Baltimore, we got some guests announced. We've got Jessica Digigovani. I was going to say Digimon, but it's definitely not Digimon. She is the voice of Windblade, Cosmos, and Transformers from Cyberverse. Also, bless her, she was RC in War for Cybertron. That's not her fault. She didn't write it, so that's not her fault. She's going to be there. We've also got Mark Watts, who was an artist on the packaging of the G1 toys. Cool. And we also have Uncle Bobby B. Budiansky, the Generation 1 comic man, the man who do the comics. So that's all of the Transformers news. So I want to talk about the thing I really liked from San Diego Comic-Con. It's the thing that made me go, oh. Big D's got some ones, but we're going to start off with mine first because I only had the one. It was the New York Comic-Con Hasbro breakfast event. They showed off during their panel, but they showed off the X-Men 97, which is the X-Men 92 styled Sentinel figure. So this is both
big boy,
but this is both really good and also really shit. He is big. He's 2 foot tall, so he's big. He's not a small figure. He's like Dragon Man, as you've got to make your order. He's not going to be in stores. You've got to order him. I think you have up to, December, if I remember.
Okay.
Up to December to order him. There are some issues with the pricing on him, but we'll talk about that in a moment. He looks exactly like I'd want him to. He looks exactly like he did from the cartoon, from both 97 and from the original 92. Comes with 2 heads. The accessories make him more 97 than the other one. He has the beaten up head. He has a boob nipple thing, like the Tony Stark arc reactor chest thing. There's a damaged one and a normal one that you can get, and he also has two oversized blast effects. But basically, this is a Marvel Legends figure just scaled up. They kind of show you that by how fucking gigantic the dumbbell joint is for the head.
Yeah.
It is literally just engineered like a standard figure, just fucking huge.
And his knee joints are massive.
Massive. He looks really good. I really like him a lot. There are aspects which I think are cheap. I definitely think again, we'll talk about the price. I think for the price he's going for, which we'll talk about in a moment, I think we should have had, like, you could maybe pull off the forearm and have, like, circuitry. So it looks like his arm's being hacked off, or maybe, like, you pull the boot off, which is, like, the purple bit, and you have, like, a hacked off leg or something like that. He definitely should have come with a tentacle, because the tentacle was in the HasLab thing, and they very sneakily on Twitter said, "Oh, well, you could use the HasLab tentacle for this." It's like, motherfucker, just give us the tentacle. Come on, man. Yeah. So why? Before this was announced, in terms of how much it was, I sent this to Gruff, and I was like, "This looks really cool," and he was like, "Oh wow, that's great." He was like, "How much do you think it'll be? Do you think it'll be about 100?" I was like, yeah, I could see that being about 100. Yeah, maybe, because it's Hasbro, and you know how Hasbro are a little bit shitty with the prices. I thought, maybe 120. It's not 120. No.
Would it be 200 by any chance?
What do you mean, dollars? Or do you mean pounds?
Either or, pick your poison.
Well, that's an interesting question, because the US version is $174, which is nearly the same price as a Titan scale figure from Transformers.
Yeah. Which
has far more parts, far more engineering. I realize that the licensing for Transformers, which is a Hasbro owned product, and Marvel is a very different thing. They are both very different beasts. But the Titans figure, which is around 200 and something odd, and this is 174. That's a big difference in price. Now, if you want the UK version, it's £185.
What?
It's £185 if you want the UK version. That translates to about $240-ish for the UK version.
Yeah, is that from Hasbro, one of the
No, that's Hasbro Pulse.
independent sites?
That's Hasbro Pulse.
Jesus, I could have understood that if it was one of the other sites and they were having to import it themselves.
Agreed.
That
would make sense.
I could actually get. And normally they're quite good about telling you that that's why you're paying that.
Yeah, the
But for
import
Hasbro
shows
themselves,
the import stores are very apologetic. They're like, we know we've got to make profit on this. We got to import it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
but for Hasbro to be doing that is some grade A bullshit.
Yeah, it feels like they're making us pay for international shipping. I hear. I asked somebody on the on a Facebook board, and they said that their euro price for Germany was 224 euros. I don't know what that translates to for pounds or something, but
that's about £200.
Okay.
The euro pound exchange rate is even worse than the dollar one at this point.
It's probably more fair to compare euro to dollars, just because then you can see how much more the Europeans are then paying for it on top of it. It's a shame because I really want this. You could have sold this for a loss technically originally, and then how like video game companies make a loss, but then they make up with video games. You could do something like that. Just sell it for a little bit less than you'd make, to the point where, because people will army build this, or would army build this. If this was £100, there are dumb people who would army build this for £100.
Yeah,
$100.
And the thing is,
guaranteed,
that's not £100 of plastic.
It doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it.
I mean, the thing that struck me before I looked at any of the zoomed-in pictures is, and I know it's the 97 look, I know that's what I'd be going for, but in so many of the pictures, it looks flat.
Yeah.
The battle damage head, until I zoomed in on it, I thought it was literally all paint apps. I couldn't tell it was detail until I zoomed in, got a picture, and looked at it in biggened. I thought, that is all actually sculpted detail. That's cool. You can't bloody tell, not unless you look close to it. And the thing is, it looks good, but there's no sophistication to it. It, like you say, it is a Legends figure scaled up by about 400%.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it. The joints are nothing special.
Nope.
It's only got the damaged head.
Bigger. That's it.
Yeah. It's got the damaged head and the damaged chest plate, which frankly is not that much. The fact they had the gall to say just use a tentacle off the HasLab version. Oh,
I know, right?
Bugger off.
Yeah. Oh, did you get that Hasbro version? You didn't get the HasLab? Oh, well, I guess no tentacle for you, even though that's like, I don't know if it's quintessential, but it's pretty iconic, right?
It's the iconic. It's what the Sentinels use.
Yeah.
It's what they've used since their first appearance in the comics.
Yeah.
They've always used the tentacle to actually grab people. It's part of what makes them so bloody creepy.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got the port there in the hand anyway.
Yeah.
But
just use the HasLab, bro. Just use
the thing is, you know what I'd say? For this price, I'd expect it to come with a few of the X-Men.
That'd be cool. To a point, it'd be cool. You know what? I mean, I should maybe I disagree slightly. It shouldn't come with X-Men. It should come with accessories for those X-Men. That could be quite fun.
That'd be cool. Yeah. You should feel like you're paying your money for it.
Yeah.
And frankly, I don't think anyone's going to feel that they are with this. It doesn't look like you say, compared to a Titan class figure, which they now cost more than this, a lot more, and you get so much more out of it. I'd probably say even the weakest of the Titans blows this away by a country mile.
In terms of what the parts it's made out of and its complexity, I would agree. Yes.
Yeah. Now, don't worry. This looks like it's an exceptionally solid figure. You don't get any of the hollowness and cheating you'll find on a Transformer of any scale.
That's true.
So fair shout.
Yep.
But equally, even for its size, that's a lot of money for a figure that, like you say, they could have sold. People would have army built this if the price was right, and that price ain't right.
There will be. I mean, there will be people that army build this regardless.
Oh yeah, but
because people have money and they want to burn it, that's fine.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I'm still thinking about ordering this because I really do want this because it's the Sentinel. Like, I don't it's not that I don't like the other Sentinels that have been designed over the years, but when I think of the Sentinel, I think of this
cartoon
guy.
Sentinel. Yes.
Yeah, it's the one that I remember.
And I get that completely. But if it was, like you said, if it was £100, would you have contemplated buying 2, maybe?
No, I'm not crazy. I would have bought 1 and been very pleased with having 1.
But would have been a thought that niggled it back in your mind and said, ooh, could I go for a second? Because they do normally appear in pairs a lot of the time. It's part of...
Current rational brain would say no, but it would depend, like, if I got this one in hand.
Speak with that shriveled muscle in your chest, Andy. Come on.
I don't think so, because I'm really stiffler for money, because I'm really concerned with, like, spending money.
I know. But you get... but it's one of those things where they've I think they've priced it too high for what it is.
I mean, did you see the slides from the show when they revealed it?
I didn't know.
Oh, no. Hang on. Because they did for the slides, they showed like Cyclops and Wolverine versus multiple Sentinels.
Oh.
And I was like, you fucker. It's like, you know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. You know what you're doing, you fucker. And it looked really cool, because it's like, I think they had like on the slide like 7 or 8 Sentinels, and then just one figure below them. I'll just pull them up on. I'll send. Yeah, okay. I'll send you the link over Discord, and then I'll put it into the chat as well. Boop.
Cool.
Not into the chat, but onto the screen. That makes more sense. Use your words, Andy.
That's cool. That's so cool.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, it was 6. It was 6 on screen. You know, kind of like the first episode. And they show you a bit of a breakdown, a bit of action poses, and then them flying and shooting. Obviously, these are CG renders. Also, it's going to be 27.4 centimeters, which is 10.8 inches. Oh, no. Wait, that's how wide it is. My apologies. It's going to be 56.4 centimeters tall, which is 22.2 inches tall. We have a message from Orange. I love seeing modern Joes. Those always look gorgeous. Simon says the hand is impressive. The hands do look nice. Lots of joints. I don't know. I'm not sure if the fingers are... I think I heard that the fingers for the open hand articulate. I don't think the closed fist ones do. XL Head says $175 is cheaper compared to the Titan's $200. Not when you have the British priced version.
And I still don't think that's... I think you're still getting more for your buck if you spend the extra 25 quid on a Transformer, to be honest.
I do as well. Like, you compare this to... what's it called? Tidal Wave. You get 3 boats. You get, I guess, technically 4 boats? No, 6 boats. Because you get the little ones to Megatron.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you get them all combining together into one giant robot, one giant boat. Yeah, there's a lot to him. But this is just, it's a big Sentinel, you know. Simon Tang says, in Hasbro UK is that £180 plus V8, oh, you mean VAT, not VST. Let's just go.
Yeah, all our prices include VAT, because our pricing system's not insane.
Yeah, that's one thing I never liked about America. When you go over there and it's like, oh, this isn't actually the price that you're paying for the figure. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean? No, you're going to spend a little bit more. Oh, it's taxes. What? You're insane. You're crazy. Okay, yeah, I've got it on screen. £185, 99. Limited to 3 per order. So even if you want to army build these, you can only get 3 of them. You can only spend like 300, 400, nearly £500.
That's a kick in the nuts to say you can only have maximum of 3 of them at any one time. It's like, oh, get off.
There'll be people who have silly money, like lawyers.
I know.
If you're a lawyer, why don't you buy me one? Please. You have way more money than I do. Apparently, the pre-order item will be available on shipping on the 2nd of September next year, which makes sense because these are made-to-order figures, so they say, like Dragon Man is. And you've got to pre-order by the 26th of November. So technically, I could buy it from a birthday present for myself, a shame present.
I mean, even as a made-to-order, that's still a big ask. I mean...
Yeah. Dragon Man wasn't, like, this bad. Dragon Man is a big figure, and it makes sense why you'd make Dragon Man a made-to-order figure. Because who the fuck's Dragon Man?
Yeah, you know? He's very niche.
He's very niche.
How much was Dragon Man?
I think he was 80 pounds. I don't know what the American equivalent was.
I mean, that's not too bad because Dragon Man is traditionally he's a big figure. He's got big wings, so I can see that.
I'm seeing if I can find him on HasLab. He might not be on the HasLab site now because the pre-orders might have closed down on him.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was bigger than the standard figure, and obviously he had the big wings as well. He came with little tiny spectacles for his face because that's an accessory he has. Again, like I say, that makes sense. It makes sense because he's big, he's niche. The Sentinel from X-Men, the cartoon series, I would definitely say is not a niche figure.
No, the Sentinel's one of those, especially the 97 version, that's one of those figures that you keep it on permanent rotation as like, that's the figure in it.
Yeah.
That's like the centerpiece of an X-Men 97 collection.
Like, definitely keep it as a Hasbro Pulse exclusive, because putting it in stores, it takes up a lot of shelf space.
Yeah, that's awesome. But keep it as like you say, as a Pulse exclusive or a web retailer exclusive, whatever.
Yeah, you want a HasLab made to order figure from the X-Men 92 cartoon? Proteus. Who the fuck's Proteus? Yeah. He's in that one episode, or that one 2-parter episode, which isn't very good. Or you could do Calypso. Who the fuck's Calypso? Calypso's a fucking Morlock. Who likes the Morlocks? Nobody likes the Morlocks. They fucking suck.
Do you mean Calypso or Callisto?
I don't know. Who the bitch with the eye patch over her eye?
That's Callisto.
Yeah, whatever. Her. See, I don't even care enough to remember a pissing name. Or you do the External from that one Gambit episode, which is also crap.
Oh, Adam X, the External, the character who's so edgy, Marvel just keep forgetting about him.
No, the External as in the
the Immortals.
Yeah.
The Immortals.
Yeah, and she's like, bring me the tithe. One year from now, you shall gain more power, thieves and assassins.
There's like 10 of them, which always boggles my mind.
Really? Oh.
Because there's Celine, that one, I think, Cassandra, I think is one you're talking about.
No, they didn't give her a name of the cartoon. They just called her the External.
Yeah, she seems to delight in messing with Remy and everyone down in New Orleans for some reason.
Gumbo, I guess.
Everyone needs a hobby.
Yeah, Gumbo. Again, made to order, the Eskimos from that one Wolverine episode. There you go. No one would buy it, but again, would make more sense than the fucking Sentinel.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I think it's annoying. And I'll be probably begrudgingly have to buy it because I do really want this Sentinel. Because, like I said, my Sentinel. What I'd like, this Sentinel and a Nimrod, cartoon Nimrod. That'd be fun.
That'd be cool.
Because I like Nimrod. He's just the Terminator. Yeah. Let's not beat around the bush. He's a T-1000.
Yes.
Except not goo. Exel Hedge says, what if it came with parts to change it into the master mold? That'd be nice. Yeah. Again, if you could add more parts to justify the price, I'd be okay with it. I think there's too much you'd need to make him look like Master Mold. Master Mold was red as well instead of pink. Or lavender.
Oh no, I know what they're gonna do.
What?
They're gonna do a separate. Yeah. He's going to be a separate release for the Master Mold.
I'm trying to think what they need to do. They need a new head for Master Mold. They need a new chest piece for Master Mold.
New head, new chest, new color scheme.
I think he has slightly different boots. I think.
Yes.
At the very least, he needs like a giant plug for the back of his leg.
Yeah, I mean, the head and the torso are the biggest changes.
They're the big ones, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, if you did a Master Mold, if you sold the Master Mold with extra pieces, you could also sell them with a fucked up, non-complete Sentinel. Do you remember the episode where Cable's first introduced? And he's the Master Mold's trying to escape. He's making one Sentinel, and it makes a Sentinel, but without most of its pieces, and it's really small for some reason. You could do that Sentinel. That'd work.
They could give you a Days of Future Past deep cut and give you a Wolverine skeleton.
Oh, that'd be really funny.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Yeah, that'd be a really fun little piece. I think that'd be better for like a set, right? So you get like Forge, and then you get the time machine with him, and then you get the stupid Wolverine skeleton and goo. That'd be fun. That'd be neat.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. But yeah, those are my woes. Orange says, yeah, that's about Titan size. Lawyers with X-Men collections, that's pretty based. There are people in many different jobs that have... I bet there are strippers that love Transformers and X-Men. Probably more likely to like X-Men because X-Men's a bigger brand than Transformers will be, ever. Yeah. I don't know. It annoys me because I really like it. I've whined enough, though. I've whined like a bitch enough, to be honest, but that's how I do. So, Big D, you had some stories you wanted to talk about. The first one, I'm really excited about, to be honest.
Yeah.
You want to tell me about it?
Would this
What's this one?
Would this be the Ecto one, by any chance?
No, it's the Arcane one. We're doing them in the order that you sent them to me.
Arcane Season 2 trailer. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, kind of like the final trailer for Arcane Season 2, which, given I don't give two craps about League of Legends, the fact that I'm so obsessed with this show has baffled me, but I cannot wait to this season to drop in a few weeks' time.
So, you because it's a really good, compelling show, which is rare these days. It's really good. And if I'm saying it's good, right, it has to be good. Because I usually am negative about a lot of things. So, yeah, it's really good. And like you, I don't give a shit about the game. I played it once or twice, didn't care. And this has very, very little to do with the video game, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of bummed that this is the end. It's only going to be 2 seasons. And
it makes sense, though, because it's clearly taken them a while to make this, because it's hard.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's one of those shows where you can see the effort they put into, because it's got its style is so much its own.
This is what I always wanted from like a Warcraft TV show. This is what I always wanted and never got, obviously.
Yeah, I am kind of hoping we get to see if this is like the first attempt to do a series set in League of Legends, in the world of League of Legends. I'm kind of intrigued to see if they do anything more.
I'm sure it has to have done well, right? It has to.
Yeah. I mean, I know that the collector's edition of the first season on Blu-ray, that I think it's pretty much sold out as soon as it launched on all the anime, so it was quite a big deal there.
I saw it on Amazon and I was like, it's a bit pricey for me, but I'll put in a wish list for the standard version at least.
Yeah, it's pricey, but it's a nice package and it's done well. The ratings on Netflix seem to have been quite the hit, and well, when the first season dropped, it was kind of everywhere on everyone's feeds, so that's encouraging. And I know that they've done at least one. They do a PC RPG set in the world of League of Legends that came out around the same time as this.
I don't know. Maybe.
I think they did, which did reasonably well in terms of reviews and whatnot and sales.
I think the universe and the design from League of Legends is interesting. It's just for me, the game never was. So having an auxiliary like media like this, and if they expand into other games like them, that might get me more interested in League of Legends as I hate to say it, but as a brand, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I still have no interest in playing the game, but I'm actually genuinely intrigued. When the first season of this dropped, I did kind of go out and look up all the all the trailers for the different seasons of the game.
Okay.
And watched a load of those, and they were fun. Much like the Overwatch trailers and the Apex Legends trailers you get that give you snippets of story, they were well done and intriguing. Not enough to get me into the game, but I dug it. It gave me an idea of where where Arcane got a lot of its motivation from and its impetus. So
Orange says most people that watch Arcane don't give a shit about the game. I can believe it.
Yeah,
I mean that is just obviously a guess. We don't have numbers and statistics for that. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this, and it's a good trailer as well.
I've deliberately not watched it. I don't want to watch it. I just want to watch the show.
That's more than fair. I get that completely. So that's the first one.
Yeah,
which is exciting. Next up, now I've been quite happy with the modern crop of Star Trek. Andy.
Yes.
Yeah. So
you cut out there. You just said Andy and then went silent.
Sorry, I didn't realize. So I was going to say, you've not been as infused by this new take on Star Trek, have you?
No, I think it's fucking atrocious.
Which bits exactly? Just out of interest.
It's faster to say which bits aren't atrocious, and that would be the first J.J. Abrams movie, which is fine, but not really a Star Trek movie.
Yeah.
And that would be it. There's very little actual Star Trek in these Star Trek shows. They're not like Star Trek at all. They're like a skin suit. They're like an old skin suit. I'll give you that Lower Decks. If you like that kind of humor and you like the references, I can see why people might like that. I just don't find it funny. And I'd like there to be a good Star Trek show.
I mean, honestly, Lower Decks, I was really worried about when I first saw any of the stills for it, because it looked very Rick and Morty, which I wasn't too excited for. And I was worried it would be quite mean, because that's what a lot of comedy animation shows are nowadays. They're quite mean-spirited. But it's not. It's actually it's a genuine love letter to Star Trek. It's the sort of comedy that only works if you love the thing you're making fun of, because it works as a rule. 4 seasons in, most episodes of Lower Decks work. They work as a particularly oddball episode of a Star Trek show, but they also work as, for the most part, quite good comedies. Not always comedy; they do have some quite good dramatic beats in. But I've enjoyed it. And there's been some really funny deep cuts of both visual gags and genuine callbacks to previous shows. So, but yeah, I do get why it's not everyone's cup of tea. In terms of the live action shows, I've enjoyed Strange New World probably more than the other ones, just because it is more of a classic Star Trek type show, and I'm looking forward to season 3 of it. But yeah, it's a weird place. I mean, Starfleet Academy, I'm intrigued by the fact they've already commissioned it for a second season before it's even aired a first one.
This is the it hasn't actually came out, because I was going to say this is the show that I don't know anything about just yet.
No,
I haven't heard anything on.
Hasn't aired yet, but they've already gone for a second season, which is not normal, to say the least. Sort of do, because Discovery kind of took a while to find its feet, but by its end, it had some good places to be working with. Anyway, I dig the fact that they're getting Bob Picardo back to play the Doc. So,
it's a good idea, because he's really old at this point. I don't think he can play an ageless hologram. Also, when's he meant to be in it? Is he meant to be the hologram, or is he just a random cameo?
Well, we're not sure yet. We know that he's going to be in it.
Okay.
And there are options. He could either be the EMH we know and love, who's over 1,000 years old at this point.
What show is this?
And perhaps this is the Starfleet Academy one.
Oh, okay.
Because Discovery, by the end, it was set like they jumped forward like 1,000 years, so it's way in the future now, even more than it was before. But so that's a possibility. It's just for Doc, who's lived that long, and maybe he's chosen to age himself up a bit.
Yes, it'll be written that way.
Bob Picardo doesn't really look as old as he is, which is funny. The other option is they have him play there was an episode of Voyager where there was a version of the Doc left in the Delta Quadrant.
Yep.
They could have that version, because he didn't leave the planet he was stranded on for like several hundred years.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one way around it. Or it could just be a whole new version of the Doc, a hologram based on the Doctor. or based on Zimmerman.
Yeah.
So we won't know until we see it. But they've toyed with the idea of Starfleet Academy for decades, and it's never gotten off the ground. There were a few novels based around it. There was a couple of video games. But they've always hinted at trying to do a TV show, and this is the first time it's actually landed. So I want to give it a chance. So
okay.
And then Section 31.
Fuck.
Torn on this one because the thing is,
it was meant to be a series that's now going to be a movie. That's not a good sign.
No. And the thing is, I'll watch it mainly because I adore Michelle Yeoh, and I've watched most of what she's done over the last 30 years in some form or other.
Yeah.
And she's never less an entertainer, whatever she's in. But I'm just done with Section 31. When DS9 introduced it, it was a concept that was interesting. And now we've seen so much of it over 20 years and various incarnations of Trek. It's just like...
yes, it did the one thing you never should have done. You never should have explained it.
Yes.
You took the mystery away. The most retarded thing you could have done with Section 31 is keep talking about it and keep touching it.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have done a show about it. You should never have brought it back. It should never have been discussed. Ever. It should have just been DS9 and left at that.
Yeah, but we're stuck with it, and I'll be intrigued to see what it's like.
Okay.
And, it's out in January 24th. And at least it's only a movie to worry about. It's not a full feature. So that's something at least.
I'm not going to be watching it. I'm good. So it's fine for me.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll just watch it because I want to see how a character story ends, but that's it, really.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, Lower Decks.
Let me just go over some of the messages that we've got through. Orange says, Strange New Worlds is fucking fun to watch. Strange New Worlds is pretty Trek, I recommend. I'd rather eat glass, personally, but that's fair enough. I saw clips of the crew turning into Vulcans, and I wanted to kill myself. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ.
That wasn't a really good scene.
Cringe. Yeah. I saw the dancing and singing Klingons. Again, I wanted to throw myself out my bedroom window. It's the end of awfulness. Star Trek's not a show where you have singing and dancing numbers. It's not fucking Buffy. And Buffy did that one episode, and then every other thing was just like, let's do the Buffy episodes. Like, nope, it doesn't work. Star Trek's not the place to do that kind of show. It's just not. Not the right setting. Orange also says, Trek, Lower Decks, and Prodigy are my recommendations for modern Trek. I've tried that. I've tried Lower Decks, and I've tried Prodigy, and I hated them all. I thought Prodigy was a very mediocre children's show slapped on with the I was going to say Transformers brand, with the Star Trek brand. I got through about 5 episodes and was like, I'm not doing any more of this. It felt so generic. Orange also says, I'm already done with Starfleet Academy. I hated Discovery. Yeah, Discovery's fucking nightmare fuel.
Yeah, so Prodigy is actually...
What's that, Big D? You broke up.
Yeah, sorry, dude. My internet went all squiffy there for a minute. I do apologize.
Yeah.
But no, I was going to say, Prodigy's, ironically, where you said you only got through 5 episodes, those 5 are probably the weakest, and then it improves massively. Because it turns into a proper sequel to Voyager.
I'm not going back to watch it. I'm not doing it.
But again, that's fair. I understand completely. If those 5 episodes didn't do it for you, I get why you'd not want to go back to it. So
if there'd been any other Star Trek shows I'd enjoyed, I would be a bit more willing, but I just can't. I hate it. Orange also says, and it's I guess it's a spin-off of Discovery Starfleet Academy, is what he said. Section 31 show kind of intrigues me. It could be either very good or very bad. I would expect very bad, but obviously. Axel Hedge says, I loved Lower Decks, wanted to enjoy Prodigy if it included more of the repercussions. Oh, the repercussions from Voyager in the Delta Quadrant, especially when it included Hollow Janeway. And Orange says, I have one hope for Section 31, and it's very far-fetched. TOS done weirder things than Strange New Worlds ever did. Yeah, I'm not saying those were good episodes, but the majority of Next Gen was good. Like, you get from season 3 onwards, a lot of them are bangers. And to be fair, I'm not a big fan of the original series. I don't love the original series. I'm one of those fans. My favorite Star Trek show is Deep Space Nine, which also has some bad episodes in it, but generally DS9's, I think, the best written of Star Trek show, and it's the most consistent.
That's my opinion as well, and I think it's probably got the strongest first season other than Strange New Worlds.
Yeah,
and that has a really good first season. But it's important to remember that Next Gen and DS9 both had 24 episode seasons. And so TNG went through nearly
you broke up, I'm afraid.
75 episodes.
You broke
as
up,
well.
Big
It was only like a 50-50 mix. No, I was just saying that there were some real clankers in the first 2.5 seasons of TNG.
Yeah.
And DS9 had some oddities as well. And that's like 2 or 3 times the number of episodes that a lot of these modern shows have gotten in total. So, I know that it's a different paradigm. We expect shows to be off from the blocks quicker and with a higher quality, because we've become used to it, but we get that quality from the start. But you can't always expect that.
Well, I think there is some expectation with a franchise that you get better, right? You don't regress, you get better. Because again, with the Next Gen, season 1 and 2 are bad. It starts getting better when Gene Roddenberry stopped doing things. That's when the show became much better and much more interesting, generally speaking. Once Gene Roddenberry was out of the picture.
That's not unfair.
DS9 was wobbly season 1 because they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. They were just flying by the seat of their pants trying to figure out what the fuck the show should be, which was ropey. And season 3 for that got obviously way better from season 3 and even way better from season 4.
But even then, season 1 of DS9 had Duet.
No, that was season 2.
Was it season 2?
That was season 2.
You sure?
Yep. I'm like 90% sure Duet was season 2.
Huh. Okay, I'll give you that one.
Yeah, I mean, you can do a quick Google search, but I'm pretty sure it's season 2.
Nah, I'm good. But you just also remember, a lot of these modern shows, they're not... The original ones, their writing teams were fairly stable for a big chunk of time. They brought in new blood, but they had a core who was still there all the way through. And that was for like best part of 2 decades, from TNG through to Enterprise. There's been there was like a 15-year gap between Enterprise and Discovery, minimum, more probably. And so they had to bring in a whole new team to develop it. Discovery especially went through 2 showrunners just in the first season. And that's ignoring any changes that may have gone in the writing team. So there was a lot of turnover, disruption to things. So I think what we did is kind of impressive in spite of those disruptions.
That feels like saying you go to a restaurant, you get a bad meal, but you understand that the kitchen staff was stressed. It's like, okay, the meal's still not very good. You know?
No, that's fair. I don't disagree with your point of view. Put it that way. I might not share it, but I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
So it just hit better for me. So
that's good. That's good.
But that's the nature of these things. So not everyone's going to like the same thing.
Okay, that's all that done. So you've got some other stuff, not Star Trek related, right? Do you want to talk about Lego or Hasbro HasLab?
Let's go with Lego first, because they want to butcher your wallet in all the ways that only Lego can do.
I'll say that this is a much better deal than the HasLab Sentinel.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But it's Lego, of course, it's going to be a better deal.
Yeah.
I mean, they give you so much stuff.
Ironically, this also has a Sentinel as well.
It does. That's actually really funny. and it has the tentacle.
It does, yeah. You don't need to pay extra for it.
Nope.
Nope. So what is this? What are we talking about for the people that aren't?
This is for Lego X Mansion.
Yeah.
And my word, is it a bit of a full-on set? Because wow, got Magneto, a Sentinel. I think it's Mystique, Bishop, Professor X, Iceman, Rogue.
I don't see Mystique.
Cyclops. Unless they've miscolored Jean Grey's face in the back there. There's a blue face from his hair.
It's clearly Jean Grey's body, but yeah, she does have a blue face for some reason, which I'm not quite sure about.
Oops. But yeah, it's the X Mansion. It's kind of cool because, well, it's going to be pricey. It's what have I put as a price? Sorry,
it's over $200. I think $220, something like that.
$330.
Yeah, so it's basically Baradur kind of levels of pricing, which makes sense. You know, Baradur was a big, expensive set, and this is kind of the equivalent of that.
Yeah, you get a lot in there, though. You've got the X Mansion that splits into 3 with multiple floors and removable roofs. You've got the Sentinel that you can build. You've got a Danger Room. You've got a Cerebro. It's as an X-Men fan, and if you like your Lego as well, it's kind of almost a no-brainer.
Yeah.
It is pricey, but like I say, it's Lego. Lego is one of those few franchises where you pretty much get what you're paying for.
Yeah, yeah.
You get your money's worth out of it. It's coming out in November. I didn't realize October is going to be a big one for Lego as well, because there's a $500 Lego Jabba's sail barge coming out.
Oh, is that a brand new one? Because they have done Jabba barges in the past.
Well, it's branded as the Ultimate Collector Series Jabba's sail barge.
That'll be right. That won't have like minifigures. That's the one. That's one
of the big black box releases.
That's for the adult collectors. You know, they don't like minifigures for babies. I like minifigures, but they're not for babies. These are for real men who just like to build things, not play with their toys like little smelly children. Blech.
You know, I feel that they missed a trick by not keeping those branded as Lego Technic, because to me that's always what the adult brand of Lego should be, Lego Technic.
I kind of get what you're saying. I think they've just they don't want to have like a separate brand, and that's why they put it in just like the black box. The black box means this isn't for children because it's fucking expensive. Unless you're rich, then you don't care, obviously. Again, if you're a lawyer and you want to buy me this set, I'm okay with that.
I mean, my niece has one of their big Harry Potter Hogwarts sets, which she's been building.
She finished it. How far through is she?
Last time, I'm not sure where she is at the moment. Last time I was there and she showed me, she had built, I think, 2/3 of it.
Okay, so she's got a good chunk through it.
Yeah. She was getting through the booklets, and that kind of surprised me that you have multiple booklets, because it's been so much done in Lego.
When they're this big, they're not even just like manuals; they are full on books.
Yeah, and all the parts in separate bags for each section. I was very impressed with that. To be fair.
Yeah, Lego's a really good. They are expensive, but you get what you pay for.
Absolutely.
They are the one toy company where I don't really feel ripped off by how expensive they get. Though I do feel ripped off sometimes when you open the box and there's a lot of space in the box. You know?
Yeah.
Sometimes the boxes, I think, are a little bigger than they maybe have to be. But, whatever.
Yeah, but at least they're not filling it all with plastic packaging or anything, are they?
No.
It's always quite. What's the word? It always looks nice, at least.
I think there's probably a reason why they're doing it like that, but it obviously takes up a lot of shelf space as well. What I use the extra boxes for is I use the big boxes to put the smaller boxes in for storage.
Yeah, that's fair.
Boxes in boxes. It's like fucking Tetris with Lego boxes. Yeah, this is a great set. You get Who you get? You get Professor X, Cyclops, Storm, Rogue, Iceman, Wolverine, Gambit, Jean Grey, Bishop, and Magneto. A big set. I'm surprised Bishop's in there, to be fair. He doesn't strike me as a regular
they have kind of made him
member.
Didn't they bump him up to series regular for the 97 reboot?
Yeah, which confused me. I was like, what the fuck is he here? Shouldn't you be in the future Bishop? What the fuck? Whatever.
I mean, I'm not going to but Bishop was one of the X-Men that was around when I was really getting into X-Men comics and kind of clicked for me because I was intrigued by who's this dude with the Ranger military type outfit and the big ass gun.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Bishop, but I might have put Jubilee in here. You know?
Yeah. That would have been nice.
If you wanted to be like comic classic Kitty Pryde, you know, you could have done that.
Yeah.
I'd say the Beast should be in here, but Beast isn't in here because he was a mini blind bag figure from a couple of years back. So there's someone else you could. Morph would have been, I think, another normal-ish choice, but maybe you want to do Morph later on with a good face and a sinister face, so you can come alongside Mr. Sinister.
That'd be cool. Yeah,
that may be hoping for a bit too much. I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised if they have something like that planned, because Lego seem to not miss an opportunity, to be honest, with their tie-ins.
Well, the thing is, with like the Marvel brand, it seems to be a lot more limited in scale in terms of like what they do. Like, it always seems like there has to be a Spider-Man thing. If you're looking just terms of like releases per year for like Marvel and DC, it's usually
I get it. Yeah,
you know. Yeah. This looks like a great set. Kind of tempted. I'd like to go. I would have liked to have bought Baradur as well, but both of these are expensive, and I'm a cheap and poor little sad panda. So what can you do? They also take up a lot of room. Also take up loads. So what's the last story then, Big D?
The last one is the latest HasLab reveal, which is the Ecto-1.
This'll sell.
Oh yeah, it'll sell a downside more than Ghost Rider Robbie Reese will.
Yeah, sorry, Robbie.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I thought that actually looked quite good, this has got way more of a market for it.
Definitely.
It's Ghostbusters, it's the iconic Ecto-1. And it's bloody huge. I mean, it's 24 inches long, 10 high, 8 wide. And it's just loaded. So it's movie accurate.
To both movies, right?
Yeah, because it looks like you can swap out the tops to have either Ghostbusters 1 or 2, which is very cool. There's 2 versions of it as well. There's the base model, which is $325.
Woo!
And then the deluxe model for $400.
I guess that makes sense because Robbie's car, like if you wanted to buy that from Ramen Toys, who basically put out that car, it was about that much anyway for that car. So I guess the amount of plastic it is and parts it is and the lights on it, and the same for this Ghostbuster car, that's probably fine, I guess. So what's the deluxe one come with?
Well, the basic version, you get Slimer, the Ecto-1, Stretcher, and is that for Ghost from the Library?
It is
the librarian.
Yeah.
So that's for the basic. Then for the deluxe, you get the Ghostbusters 2 roof replacement. You get Slimer, the librarian, the Stretcher as usual. You then get Ghostbusters 2 versions of the Busters. So all 4 of them with their kit, which is very cool with some slime effects.
And their goo guns too.
Yep, with the goo guns. Load of traps, which is cool. And it looks like they've also got a Lewis Tully figure.
Yeah, what is that? Like, is that something you got to build up to? Is that something that's just
that's if it gets fully funded in 2 weeks, everyone gets a Lewis figure, which is actually kind of cool.
Yeah, isn't this our first like figure of what's the actor called? I can't remember his fucking name.
Rick Moranis.
Yeah, Rick Moranis. Isn't this like going to be the first action figure for Rick?
I think there may have been something from McFarlane for Little Shop of Horrors back in the day.
Oh, so it'll be the first posable non-statue.
Yes. I'm trying to think if they've done a Lewis figure before. Actually, no, I think they have done Lewis in previous Ghostbusters ranges from Ghostbusters 1.
Oh, okay. All right.
But this, I think, will be one of the first of the Ghostbusters 2 versions.
Well, this
And
looks good.
and it's branded as part of the what's it called? The Plasma series, which is like their version of Black series or Classified, which is cool.
Okay.
I like that. I like that you have these options for these things. You know, I like that it's feeding that part of the community. And is it for me? Hell no. I'm not that big a Ghostbusters fan. But if you are, this looks pretty sweet. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I think it's a great looking set. It really
does.
It seems like you mentioned, it seems like it's better value than the Robbie car, and it's definitely got the market. It's definitely got the market.
I mean, it needs 12,000 people to back it in 45 days.
Do we know how far they've gone so far?
That is a good question. Let's go to UK Hasbro Pulse.
While you do that, I'll read out some messages. So we have Simon says, "Have you heard they are locking up the Lego behind glass cases in the US?" Well, to be honest, with the amount of things getting locked behind glass cases now in certain states in the US, I'm not surprised. It's probably a good idea. I think people would like the 5-finger discount from those Lego sets.
In fairness, I've seen some of those big sets behind.
I think what Big D was going to say before he broke up, but he's seen those big sets behind glass in the UK too. I haven't seen too many of them behind glass cabinets on display. As well. I had to reiterate what you said because you broke up there, Big D, but it's fine. I did it.
Oh, sorry.
Orange says, if only the boxes would disappear when you refill up the rows. XL Hedge says, can't wait to see this Lego set locked behind security stores. Oh my God, another one said that. Jesus Christ. I guess it's a real thing. Mr. White says, can't wait to play my vintage Bobby Brown single and feel that Ghostbusters 2 energy. Hell yeah. And XL Hedge says, but can I have an an Ectotron drive the Ecto 1? I'm going to say probably not. I don't think it's compatible with the Voyager scaled figure, unfortunately, from Transformers.
Yeah. Anyway, as of today, with 43 days left to go, they've got nearly 5,000 backers.
Okay, so they need about 10,000 more. Well, less than that.
Yeah. Yeah, they need 7,000.
Yeah.
More or less.
That's not too bad. I mean, they've got 40 days.
Absolutely. And, you know, I mean, given how these tend to run because I know that there's, with the Transformers ones, they've had form where they actually don't factor in all the international backing figures for a few days.
We're not important. Yeah.
For maybe a week or so. There's a good chance it'll get over it within, and like, it's only been 2 days.
Yeah, exactly.
It's already almost halfway there. I'll be surprised if it's not hit it by next weekend at the latest.
Well, there's always that big rush at the start, and then there's the big rush at the end. So we'll see it probably. I'm not sure we'll see it done by the weekend. If you said that, I think by the weekend we'll hit that slump, and then we won't get anything. We'll get dribbles, and then right at the end it'll probably make it. Probably.
Yeah.
Again, it's the Ecto 1. Like, if you're a Ghostbuster fan, you know, and you have the money. Obviously, if you're poor and you're fucked, obviously you're not going to buy it. But I think if you do have the money, there's no reason why you wouldn't get this. No reason.
God no. And I mean, the amount of electronics in this thing is bonkers. Especially if you slap on the Ghostbusters 2 bit with the message bar.
Does it say if there's sounds, or is it just the lights?
Let's see.
Does it make the ear wrenching?
You got the dot matrix. Oh, that's dot matrix display decals. Oh, that's a bit cheap. I thought they would have actually been proper things. Oh well.
What's that?
It's got a USB port of the dot matrix display. It's not an actual working one, which is kind of a shame. But
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, it's got a USB port, always on display option, which is cool.
The decals will be there for the stickers on the side to make it in the Ghostbuster 2 car as well.
Yeah.
Because they don't have replaceable panels, so you can either have as the Ghostbuster 1 car or the Ghostbuster 2 car.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense, because it would be more expensive because you'd need to make the side panel on each side removable, as well as the doors and the side on the back to get that checker dot pattern. Annoying,
Yeah,
but I get it. It makes sense.
I get that. That's understandable.
I don't think there's not a good way to do it which wouldn't set money on fire effectively.
No. The librarian figure is very nifty. I dig the ethereal translucent effect. If you get like an LED going, that'll look very cool.
Are you shoving an LED up a coochie? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, we've seen worse things done.
Yeah, we saw the 2016 Ghostbuster movie. That was way worse.
Yeah. Slimer it's Slimer.
Yeah.
Have they ever made a bad Slimer?
I mean, he doesn't need to do much, in fairness.
No, he just needs like a green potato.
Yeah.
The busts themselves in their movie 2 look. Oh, I do apologize. I thought they had the traps. It's actually the goo guns that I was getting confused by.
Ah, okay.
I do apologize.
They do have goo effects, though, so you can spray people with happy goo.
Yep. And they got the little toaster.
Yeah, that's fun. And a mug. And what's the thing next to the mug?
I think it's creamer.
What?
Or sweetener.
Oh. I thought you meant lube.
Well,
that's what I call the sweetener, baby.
If you feel you need it.
I mean, ghosts. I guess you need to get the ectoplasm going otherwise.
Yeah.
Lewis does come with a trap, though.
Yeah. Oh, it's actually the first 2 weeks.
For what? For Lewis?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe they'll get it. I don't know.
If they get the 12,000 backers in 2 weeks, then everyone receives a Lewis Tully figure. That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I could see them trying to get that. I don't know. Obviously, it's not a big deal for me, but it's overall a nice looking set, and I can see why it is the price that it is. I think it's funny that there are 2 versions you can go for. You can be a basic bitch, or you can be a fucking Chad. An alpha male toy collector, as they call them.
And honestly, I mean, it's 324 quid versus 399 quid.
I guess it really depends. Do you want the Ghostbuster 1 car? Because then you don't need the big one, right? Because you probably have the Ghostbusters 1 team already. So if you just want the Ghostbuster 1 car, boom, you got the Ghost, you got that. You're not really missing out on anything
2
else.
And the guys in their Ghostbusters 2 uniforms, it's an extra 75 quid. You pay more than that just for the 4 figures.
Probably, yeah.
It's arguably
better value.
Yeah.
As long as you can afford it. That's the big thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And like you say, it is a big ask, but it's also a big collectible.
Yeah.
And it is a real collectible. So.
And it's not shit like Unicron. I'll throw that out there.
And it's not hard to display like the Unicron.
No.
Or like Jabba's Sail Barge, or the Razor Crest.
Which one's the Razor Crest? Oh, the Razor Crest is the Mandalorian thing, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Part of me still wishes I'd backed the Ghost, but I have nowhere. That would have just been obscene to try and put anywhere. So
you'd need to get. No, I was going to say you'd need to hang it from your ceiling, but your ceiling might be full anyway. I don't know.
You'd need a table just for the Ghost, frankly, or a Kallax just for the Ghost, just to cut a big hole out in the middle for it. But no, this is it. I say it's a big collectible, but it's also not one that is hard to display.
No.
And you can get a lot out of it.
Yeah,
yes.
I think
so.
All right.
But yeah, that's me done.
We have messages. We have Mr. White who says, oh no, I read that one. My bad. We have Axel Hedge that says, it was Mr. White's previous message. Axel Hedge says, why hasn't Hasbro tapped in the real Ghostbusters cartoon figures yet? Licensing, I would guess.
Yeah.
I don't know what the licensing issues are, but there'll probably be something stupid law-wise. Not as in LORE, but as in LAW law-wise.
Actually, I think I saw something recently about real Ghostbusters action figures.
The real Ghostbusters or the Ghostbusters cartoon action figures with the monkey?
Oh, I mean real Ghostbusters as in the movie Ghostbusters,
the real Ghostbusters, not the Ghostbusters.
It gets very confusing. But
fucking
I'm sure. Yeah. I did see something with back with the Ghostbusters we think of and the Extreme Ghostbusters.
Oh, really? Extreme Ghostbusters toys? Oh, that's cool. That was a really good show.
It was surprisingly good, I thought.
Yeah, and it was done by
Much
that
better.
animation company that did a decent amount of good, at least good-looking animation cartoons. Weren't all bangers, but Men in Black was okay. Godzilla was okay. You know,
Yes,
They did a
much
lot
better
of
than it had
stuff.
any right to be.
Yeah. It wasn't an amazing show, but it's like, it's the best Godzilla it was way better than the movie, at least. Way better than the movie. Mr. White says, my friends own a real full-size Ecto 1. Ooh. I just hope this model needs less upkeep. I would hope so.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Mr. White in a Ghostbusters movie. I think he'd do a good job as a Ghostbuster man. It could work. Orange said, he wouldn't be a ghost, though. I wouldn't want Mr. White as a ghost. I'd want him as a ghost keeper. Trapper. Orange says, Creamer and Happy Goo. This set is loaded. It's dripping. It's dripping with quality. Let's go with that. But yeah, that's all of the news as far as I'm aware. Simon Tang asked about G.I. Joe. There wasn't much G.I. Joe stuff. At least I didn't think there was a lot of G.I. Joe stuff. Not really for me. We'll go to the classic pictures. They showed they're re-releasing, with some slight tweaks, the retro-carded Viper. So it's the Viper we had, but a little different.
Yeah, because they're doing him, Mindbender, and Heavy Metal.
Is it Heavy Metal?
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's Rock and Roll.
Yeah, Rock and Roll.
The one that looks like Gruff.
The heavy machine gunner who's white.
Yeah, Gruff.
Yeah.
So the Viper, it looks okay. It's had a few releases now already, so I don't find it that exciting, but it gives people the opportunity to army build it more, which, that's good. Rock and Roll, I think it's a little bit more boring because he doesn't have the tattoos, because he had tattoos.
Yeah, that's a shame, because Rock and Roll's actually become a character I enjoy seeing him in any of the media, because he's just kind of a bit bonkers.
Yeah.
But
I mean, if you want a classic look, this does that. I just think the extra detail in the standard release is a bit more interesting. Mindbender, this is good for me because I did not want to buy the deluxe Dr. Mindbender because I thought that was a bad deal personally.
What was in the deluxe Dr. Mindbender? Remind me.
Crap, basically. He got the bits that he used to make Serpentor in little tubes and vials.
Okay.
It's like, it was pretty expensive for what it was, I thought. Yeah. I want to know if this Dr. Mindbender's cloak will leave black stains on him, because the original one did. So hopefully they fix that.
But he's still going to be probably the buffest psychologist in anyone's toy collection.
Is he a psychologist? I thought he was a scientist.
I think he has psychology is kind of his jam.
Probably.
It's why a lot of his stuff to do with wiping people's minds and making them do what he wants.
Fair enough. Yeah, he's a big boy, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So
well,
my main thing,
other than Doc Samson, but
yeah, my main thing is, as long as the cape doesn't leave stains on him, it will be generally an improvement. I can't remember what it was about that material that they used for the cape, but
yeah, I mean, that looks like a cloth cape.
It was for the last one as well. Yeah,
was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why it was weird. Everybody, it was always stains like around the armpits and the shoulder. Where the actual material would lie.
Yeah,
maybe the material it was cloth, but I think there was like a shiny material on the top of it. I think I'm not sure, not owning it, but yeah. Cool. Dr. Mindbender's coming. And there was also, wasn't just the retro carded stuff. Don't lie to me.
But isn't there an Alley Viper set?
There was some other stuff as well. I'll go to the panel recap. So I'll just read the notes. It says render reveals. So we got Footloose, a Cobra Trench Viper and Bunker. Now we'll talk about that.
That was it, yeah.
The Legacy 60th Anniversary Firefighter, so it's the boring G.I. Joe, I'm afraid. Future Mainline and Redecos. The Master Vice Snake Eyes and Polar Bear set with tune accessories and features. The Retro Footloose. Not Rock and Roll? Oh, well, we got to it. Retro Mindbender, Retro Cobra Viper, and then name-only reveals Dark Lawn, if I read that right. Crystal Ball? Who the fuck's Crystal Ball?
Oh, I'll explain in a minute.
Who's fucking Crystal Ball? And then the 4th version of Snake Eyes, which is I had the doll version of that.
That's the Ninja Force version, is it? For one who had for rocket launching, for grapple launching backpack.
It's the one that had the ski mask.
Yes, the figure had a lot of blue on him, I remember.
Yes, it was mainly blue. Simon says, "What do you think of the new vehicle is? What do I think the new vehicle is? Do we know the price point on the vehicle? Because that'll be a big determining, like, what it could be, I suppose. You know."
See, Footloose is cool because I actually thought it was Leatherneck initially, but Footloose was actually one of my first Action Force figures.
Is Footloose just the dude with the mustache who looks a little bit like Shia LaBeouf?
Sadly, yes. He was the infantryman was his role on his stat card role.
So he was the most boring G.I. Joe.
Yes.
Okay. See, I'm really bad with Joes because I don't care about them. The bunker, I think, is interesting. I think it will be way too expensive for what it is, but it's kind of cute, I suppose. I like the sandbags. And the Viper, the Alley Viper redeco, it's fine. It seems to come with Rock and Roll's heavy machine gun, which is okay. But it's just the Alley Viper again. It's like, all right. I like the I'm an emo boy eye makeup he's got on. You know, reminds me of my last days at like high school. Sorry, what were you going to say, Big D?
No, I was just going to say, that tracks.
I'm guessing the price point on this is going to be, it's going to be the similar price point to the small vehicles, right? I don't think they do it the same price as the Stinger, which is like 80 to 100, I think. I think this is more your £60 set, maybe.
Yeah.
I'd hope. It might be more. It might be 80. But I don't know. Knowing Hasbro.
You'd hope it'd be less, but yeah.
It won't be, but yeah. I'd hope it would be. But what do you think of the commode? The pooping Cobra box.
I think it's kind of adorable. I didn't realize it was a different sort of Viper that I thought it was just an Alley Viper in a different camo, not just they've rebranded it as a whole new Viper. But
why not?
Yeah, it tracks. That's what they do.
It's a different Viper, is it? Yeah, he's camo colored.
It's cute.
Yeah,
I dig it. I'm always happy to see them do these oddball bits of G.I. Joe. To be honest,
I think this will be a great thing to see in Ross for $14.
Hell yeah!
Also, fuck you, America. Fuck you. You've got scrap iron in Ross's for $14, and I wasn't able to get him at the cheapest price for £40.
But you're not bitter, are you, Andy?
I'm never bitter. Never bitter. Fuckers. $185. £185 for the Sentinel. The Firefighter. The Firefighter's fine. The Firefighter looks like a villain from My Bloody Valentine, except he was a miner in that.
Yeah, I have to say, I do find these throwback G.I. Joe anniversary figures kind of fun, that they're giving you all these options for different heads as well, so you can army build with them easily enough, and that's kind of fun.
They're okay. I think they're a nice reference, but it is, from my perspective, it's just a fireman, and that's not my opinion on real firemen. Real firemen are very impressive people, but as an action figure toy, it's just like, it's a fireman. Whatever.
Yeah, I can understand that.
He does have a psychotic amount of axes, though.
Yes,
he has far too many axes for a man who's not a murderer, is what I'll throw out there.
Yeah.
You know?
And hammers.
The hammer, he's got one hammer. No, he has two hammers. He has two hammers. Never mind. I was going to say he has one hammer. That's fine. He has two. He has one too many hammers. One too many hammers. Jaws of Life is just a reuse of rippers, if I remember. So it's like, so it'll be rippers. Yeah, it's like, okay, it makes sense. It is a reuse. It's cheaper. Bit boring, but you know, I understand they're going through all these things.
It's nice that it's part of the collection.
Yeah, it's fine. The Toon Snake Eyes and Polar Bear, that is a fascinating little set.
Yep.
I like the fact that Snake Eyes has pink hands. I don't remember him having pink hands in the mass device.
I was looking at it thinking, is that supposed to be Frostbite?
I wish. That would be awesome.
Is he having a very bad day?
If his hands are bright pink, he's seconds away from those hands turning black.
Yeah.
And that's not good.
No. It's fun, though.
The bear's
like
cool.
The bear.
The bear has two heads. I think they could have maybe done with one head for the bear and just had a joint for the mouth to open. That would have been fine by me.
Yeah, I like the extra piece you can replace on the flank with the darts in it.
Yeah, that's fun.
To explain why he's a very pissed off bear.
I'll be honest, my favorite accessory in this is the bear trap. I hope the teeth close.
Yeah.
I hope they close. If they don't close, I'd be mildly disappointed.
It'd be a shame if they don't close.
Yeah. In terms of weapons, he's got the basic knife, which you all seem to come with, the basic gun, and then, I don't know, shotgun kind of looking thing.
Is it a shotgun or a dart gun?
I mean, it would probably make more sense if it was a dart gun, because like you say, the bear has the dart effect.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not for its flank, is it? It's for its shoulder. You can see on the front of its shoulder the piece that pops out.
That's what I meant. Shoulder, flank, potato.
Sorry, I heard flank and thought you meant his arse.
No.
Which would be more funny. Because that would definitely piss off a bear.
Yes, it would.
And then it's got some bits for the mass device. I guess at the very least there's going to be another 2 sets of these, because we've got the red crystal, and on the bottom the logo is a blue and a yellow. So there's minimum going to be another 2, if not more. That's fine. This was always my least favorite look for Snake Eyes. He doesn't look like a ninja. Also, he's not Storm Shadow, so whatever.
Yeah, this was his original Commando look, wasn't it?
It's an interesting look. I'll give it to you.
Yeah, they were still working out the kinks of the character. So.
Yeah, it's a prototype show, so if they tweaked the nipples and got there eventually. Did we cover them all? Yeah, because the other ones were just name reveals. Dark Lon, I guess, is the guy with the fucking humongous gun.
Yeah, it's funny they've revealed him, because I've been reading the Destro comic.
Oh, is this guy not a G.I. Joe?
No, he's
what?
Destro's cousin. He's Destro's cousin.
Dark Lon and Destro.
Yeah, he was part of the old Iron Grenadier Force back in the day. But
is it meant to have like a bird-shaped mask? Is that the idea? Because it kind of looks like it from this slide. It looks like he's got a bird face.
That's kind of, his eyes are actually underneath that beak.
What?
I'm sure his eyes are supposed to be. You can see where you got those two.
What?
Hang on. I can't show you on the thing.
It's got he's got like eyebrows and the eyes and then the beak.
Yeah, but I don't think it's actually. But I'm sure that's not the face of the actual mask. Hang on. Let me see if I can do a search for.
I'm just imagining, when they show like images of where Spider-Man's eyes are meant to be, if you actually took off his mask and they're just like wonky.
Yeah.
That's the feeling I'm getting when you're talking about this. You have a look for the images. I'll go through the messages. They showed the wheel. They showed a wheel. It's a wheel-based vehicle. Oh, it could be the Dreadnought. What's it called? The Thunder Hammer Bimble Slapper? Whatever it's called. That? Maybe that? I don't know. I'll be honest. I'm not up enough on G.I. Joe vehicles to know the intricacies of the tires. I'll be honest. Even the I was going to say Decepticons, even the Cobra ones. XL Head says, Andy Jinxters, Shai will return in the G.I. Joe crossover movie. I think it's about time. I think Shia LaBeouf could play a decent war veteran with PTSD. He kind of looks like he has that look to him.
I mean, there wouldn't be that much acting involved, would there?
No, I mean that's why they get The Rock to basically play The Rock in every fucking movie. So if Shia can play a crazy person, that works too. Orange says, loving the outhouse accessory. Yeah, someone needs to get an accessory toilet and just put it in there along with them. complete the set. Their fucking parents were on some serious shit when they named those poor bastards. Well, yeah, you know. No wonder they became terrorists. True.
Yeah. Okay, I think I know what's thrown me. It's the fact that that picture of Darklon is a terrible picture.
Oh.
Because it looks nothing like the actual toy versions of him.
Oh,
in terms of the head.
Because there is another picture with a dude with a crazy mustache. Who's that one meant to be? That one must be... Oh, that's Crystal Ball.
Yeah, he was a hypnotist working for Cobra.
Oh, it looked like he was coming for your children, to be fair.
Yeah, he was from, I want to say, 86 or 87.
I reckon if you took his mustache off, he could be the child catcher from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
More than likely. He was always a very weird character.
He's Crystal Ball and a hypnotist. The only thing you could have told me is he came with bending spoon action.
I'm intrigued by the fact that they're doing the version 4 Snake Eyes, though, because, well, that kind of makes me hope they'll do the rest of the Ninja Force guys, because I'm weird like that.
Well, they did that that Storm Shadow. That Storm Shadow came out really early as a Amazon exclusive.
Yeah,
so it makes sense for them to do this version. Also, Snake Eyes, pretty popular character, so just like Optimus Prime and Bumblebee, he will sell. I think they'll get to the Ninja Force eventually.
Yeah, I mean, Scarlet's Ninja outfit is a bit of a popular one amongst fans as well.
Is it saucy, is it? Raunchy? Smutty?
Not really.
Oh.
It's just a bit nicer than her classic look.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. And then you got the rest of the Ninja team who are
weird.
Hilarious. Yeah.
The 90s, right? Late 80s, 90s?
Actually, no, they've done Nunchuck already, haven't they?
Nunchuck? No, don't think so.
Hang on.
They've done Quick Kick, if you mean Quick Kick.
No. Yeah, Nunchuck. Figure number 80.
Oh, okay. Is he a Joe?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's why I don't fucking know.
Ralph Nunchuck Baducci.
It's like, I've never heard of this Cobra dude. It's like, oh, he's a Joe. No, we're not fucking don't know him. You could you could say any name and just be like, it's a G.I. Joe. I'd be like, oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah.
I mean, in fairness, they've done all the Cobra ninjas by this point. I think there's only most of the Joe ones. They only need to do Scarlet in her ninja outfit and 2 others of the Ninja Force, because they've done Billy in his ninja guise, and they've done the other ninja kid character from the sequel comic books.
Okay.
And Jinx. Do you remember there was that Crimson Guardsman Fred?
Yes.
And one died, and then the one who took over from him was actually an old war buddy of Snake Eyes, Storm Shadow, and Stalker.
That's right, yeah, something like that.
His kid eventually got trained by Snake Eyes.
Ah, fair enough. Okay.
And joined the Joe team, because of course he would. Because why wouldn't you?
And a new toy. Why not?
And Billy did the same. I think he's dead now, to be fair. I get very confused. Reading for modern G.I. Joe comics, because all the time, which is wrong.
Are these the Skybound ones you're talking about? Or these the last of the IDW ones?
This is the stuff that's continuing the original run of comics.
Okay.
Which I think is that it has moved over to Skybound. The actual Skybound Energon comics are bloody insane. And I love it.
Okay.
Because they're trying. Just because they're mixing in, it's become this wonderful melange. So they introduced Cobra La really early.
Oh, all right.
But Cobra Commander is not a native to Cobra La.
Oh, thank God.
He went there from the outside, and then he came back out.
Right.
And they've sent a couple of Cobra La's minions into space to cross over with Void Rivals.
Sure, why not?
Yeah. And they're going to explain... I mean, hell, the G.I. Joe team's going to have the Baroness on it.
Okay.
And one of the new Cobra villains is actually the girl who loved Powerglide.
Oh, Astoria?
Yeah, they've turned her into an arms dealer one of those arms dealers on the same level as Destro and Tomax and Zammot.
Oh, okay. Well, fair enough. Why not?
Yeah, they paired her and Destro up, which is quite fun. But I get why some folks have struggled with the Skybound stuff, but sticking with it, I've been thoroughly entertained so far. But yeah, that's all I've got.
Okay, right. Well, that's all of the news then for this week, people. So I'll guess we'll quickly wrap up with Big D. What you been up to this week? What you done for fun?
I've been building stuff as ever for my various 40k and Warhammer armies because I have nothing else to do. Did a podcast this past week for Fluff and Busters, a bit of a special one. Not sure when it'll go up because Gruff's had some computer issues, but
it exploded.
Yes, but I'm very proud of that one. Myself and Mr. White, we should be recording a 2-parter this week if we can. Probably Tuesday, Wednesday.
You had to put it off, didn't you? You were going to do one earlier this week, but you were busy.
We were going to do one yesterday, and
that's it. Yeah,
I was so tired I kind of forgot because I'm rubbish.
No.
But Mr. White was very gracious and carried on with his editing with his very fun-looking projects he's been working on. So that worked out, I think, for both of us. It's given me a bit of time to get my head in gear, but I'm genuinely looking forward to what we're doing for this next one. Because it's one of my favourite films of all time. Yay! Yeah, that's kind of me. And I've installed Alien Isolation, so I'm going to try and play that if I can over the next week or two.
Well, you're going to see if your PC can handle it, I suppose.
Well, it should do. My PC's only 10 years old and the game's 10 years old, so...
We'll see.
Yeah,
hopefully.
See how much I can play of it before scaring myself witless.
You should change the Xenomorph to Thomas the Tank Engine. It's a pretty fun mod. It's a thing you can literally do, trust me. I think he's just died. Okay.
You say?
Oh, you broke up there. I told you should get the mod for Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yeah, I think I might try and play the game normal first and then do that when I want to really scare myself.
That's fair. It's understandable. Is that all you've been up to?
Pretty much. Otherwise, just I've been doing a bit more Dark Tide to try out the new train level, which is fun, and messing with the weapon mastery system.
Mm-hmm.
The bolt pistol is... I've kind of fallen in love with it now because I bounced off the bolter, but the bolt pistol is tasty. Very tasty. Especially when it goes for like 4 heretics in one go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Otherwise, that's it. Yeah.
Well, I haven't done too much myself. Just been cracking on with streaming. I've watched the first episode of Penguin. The Netflix show.
Any good?
It's okay. Good? Yeah, it's all right. I don't know if it shits its pants in the next 3 episodes, but the first episode I was like, it's not bad. I wasn't a big fan of the Robert Pattinson Batman. I'm kind of a little bit tired of must-do realistic Batman shows, but since this is... What the Penguin seems to be is, have you seen a gangster show? It's kind of one of them.
Yeah.
So it hasn't done anything to surprise me, but Colin Farrell playing the Penguin is still quite compelling.
I'm still amazed by that makeup job.
Do you not think it's annoying that like he's basically stolen the job from a fat ugly dude? You know, there are plenty of fat ugly dudes out there, and Colin Farrell, who's a good looking man, they're like, no, just stick him in loads of prosthetic makeup. I can't believe they're taking jobs from normal ugly fat people like me. It's disgusting. I'm not saying I could have been Penguin, but...
I see your point, but equally, he's willing to put on all that makeup, so...
it's just like Hollywood taking jobs from people. It's terrible. Where's my representation of actual fat, ugly people? That's what I want. So what else have I been watching? I watched The Stuff. Have you seen The Stuff?
I don't think I have.
1985? If Mr. White's around, he'll probably correct me. Weird white goo is discovered and becomes the next thing that everybody's eating, except the white goo hollows you out. It's kind of like a really bizarre invasion of the body snatchers. It is very nonsensical. It
sounds it.
I mean, in terms of how it's edited, how it progresses. It progresses. Have you ever seen the Captain America movie that has the Italian Red Skull in it?
Yes.
You know how that movie just kind of moves from scene to scene and there's not much logic and it's somewhat incoherent a little bit?
That's been generous, but yes.
Yeah, the stuff is very similar. It's got some... I'll see if I can... I mean, the movie kicks off with these guys, I don't know, they're mining for something. And this old guy just sees this white stuff bubbling up from the ground. He puts his fingers in it, smells it, straight away eats it. And I'm going, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you putting white goo in your mouth? He just finds white goo on the floor and just goes, yeah, I'll put this in my mouth. And bro, what the fuck? What's happening? I'll try and find some of the lines because I heard them and send them to Gruff straight away because I thought they were utterly bizarre. Let's see.
Try to give him more material for cold opens to the Flufferhammer.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, so these are the messages I sent to Gruff. Why the fuck does the stuff literally just start with an old man fingering white goo in the snow and straight away shoving it in his mouth? This is 26 seconds into the movie. This happens.
Okay.
A line from the movie: "We do have to keep the world safe for ice cream."
Right.
Do you know why they call me Mo? Because every time people give me money, I want Mo.
Oh, that's bad.
Yes, it is. And then a kid's family is all eating the stuff, and he pretends not to eat the stuff. So what he does is he pours the stuff down the toilet, flushes it away. He then fills the stuff container with shaving cream. Goes downstairs to show his parents that he's eating it, and he's taking like 5 or 6 spoonfuls of like shaving cream to eat. My comment was, how the fuck did this child eat so much shaving cream with a smile on his face?
Yeah. That's
didn't
really weird.
Obviously, the child is not literally eating shaving cream in real life, but in the context of the movie, ain't no way you're eating shaving cream and going, yum,
Hell
yum,
no.
yum. You go, He then throws a plate. The movie's bizarre. Would I recommend it? I don't know. Maybe? Do you want a weird film to watch that's kind of silly? The stuff's there. Is it good? No. It's one of those. Yeah. It's very much a bizarre B, C, D ranked movie. One of those weird ones which you're watching like, what is going on?
It sounds it.
Yeah. 80s. What can you do? The main character punches a guy who's had the stuff, and he just punches his entire jaw off, and they don't react to it. He doesn't go like, wow, I punched this guy's jaw off. There's a black guy called Cookie Johnson who used to own a chocolate chip company who was bought out by the stuff. And apparently he has deadly hands. His words, he has deadly hands.
Righto.
It is a weird film. Very weird. Yeah. I think that's all the significant stuff I did. I can't think of anything else. So cool. I guess we'll end the stream there. Thanks for coming by, everybody, and thank you, Big D, for joining us. Where can people find you on the internet, Big D, if you want them to?
Oh, I'm all over the socials as David Kelly. Look for the Weird Ross spelling with the W's, the S, and the Y's, and the D's. You can't really miss it. It'll either have this lovely Underhive info broker you can see flashing away, or Cup. One or t'other. I'm trying to post more on Blue Sky than the hellscape that's what used to be Twitter, but it's hard to get away all the time because that's where my notifications come from.
I think it's funny. People keep saying I'm going to move over to Blue Sky, and then I still see them on Twitter. I'm like,
I know.
Hilarious. Yeah. I'm going to leave Twitter. back on Twitter only a little bit later. I'm like, you
I
idiots.
know, but all my news feeds come from there, and
I just use Twitter. I don't care. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah. If I could find a way to kind of get all the feeds in one place, that'd make my life so much easier. But hey ho. But yeah, that's me. I'm one of the Discord mods for Fluff and Hammer, along with Darren, where we try and keep things in order without Gruff having to step in. We seem to be doing an all right job, I think, given he gave it to us because we'd been doing more than anyone else on the forum. I host our monthly watch along. Next one is the 2nd of November. And if I remember rightly, our films will be, I can just bring it up because I've forgotten, Pacific Rim and Beowulf.
The CGI movie?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I am Beowulf!
It's especially visually now looking back at it. It wasn't a pretty movie when it came out. It's now a really weird looking movie.
And it still bugs me that a film that violent got released to the cinemas as a cartoon, basically.
I was going to say it was a PG, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty hardcore for the most part.
Yep.
More so that it should have been at least a 12A, at least for the UK.
Yeah. But, we'll do Beowulf and the palate cleanser of Pacific Rim.
Hey, there you go. Yeah,
because everyone likes Pacific Rim.
It's a fun film.
If you have a soul, you enjoy Pacific Rim.
You don't like. Well, you shouldn't like the second one. That's not very good.
It tries, but it needs more time to cook, I think.
So does a kid. When they try and make you food, and they try and make you scrambled eggs, and it's got most of the shell in it. It's like, well, I guess.
Sorry, I thought you meant the kid needed more time to literally cook, not.
Oh, maybe
the food.
I mean, depends what your diet is.
I was going to say it was a bit of a harsh reaction to a poorly made meal, but okay.
In the oven you go, child. Well, if you're an evil witch, it's your go-to.
Yeah. And I also host the Fluff and Buster show of Mr. White, where we natter over a film for probably at least a couple of hours because we're like that. And Fluff and Hammer Community Radio, where if anyone wants to have a natter about anything, they can hit me up and we'll record it. So, yeah, that's it really. Oh, and I contribute to VUKanime.net when I can.
Woo! Cool. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube as Decayed Andy. You can find us on the Moonbase 2 forums, Twitter, Twitch, iTunes, YouTube, Moonbase 2 Transformers podcast, cc.weebly.com. I think that's the right place. Yeah, Moonbase 2 Transformers. You'll find us. We poop out the show every week, and I stream. Yeah, pretty much every day, almost, at 10:15 UK time. If you want to be like the people who are with the chat with us today, thank you for coming on by. It's 8 o'clock. It might be getting shifted more to like 8:30 now, I think, in the evening UK time, just to accommodate work now. So let's say 8:30 primarily from this point onwards for the future on a Sunday. Sunday.
Yeah.
Fun. So thanks, everybody. Next week... what will it be next week? I guess next week we'll have the Hasbro thing to talk about, won't we? Yeah, we will.
Yeah, should do, yeah.
Yeah, we'll be able to talk about Devastator next week. So, we won't be doing a toy show. We'll be doing a news show. I was wondering if there was going to be enough news. I mean, granted, there still might not be a lot of news, but it's worth talking about the Devastator.
Yeah.
That's 5 toys. No, 6. That's 6 toys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 6 toys, so it's worthwhile.
Yeah, it might spoil us with a bounty of reveals.
Oh, that's cute.
I know. I'm an optimist.
It'll probably just be Devastator.
I know.
Maybe they'll show off one of the other figures that they've showed like a name of. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm still hoping we'll get a reveal for, was it War of the Primes or whatever they're calling the new.
I think that might be a bit soon, right?
It's next year.
Yeah, it is next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they'll do the crappy thing where they do the space bridge reveals and they show just like images of what the first wave is going to be of like cartoon pictures rather than actual prototypes. Maybe they'll show us the first wave. It's like you say, it is like next year at some point, so it is.
It'd be nice.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you might be right. Maybe this premium event will actually be really good. Maybe. Anyway.
Maybe.
Thanks for coming on by, everybody, and we'll catch you next week.